Welcome to the Xbox Uncut weekly podcast.
Bungie, you ripped the money out of your fans' hands and burned it in front of their faces with that piece of shit known as Destiny.
I want to be hyped.
Vern, how you doing?
And Tim and Steve are sucking it out of me.
If you don't want to buy it because there's a woman in the game or on the cover, you can suck it.
Clean your ass up, scrub your ass, put on deodorant, do not put on Axe body spray.
South Park, The Fractured But Whole.
Wait a second, we gotta enjoy that title first.
It's so good in the end, your accent. Fractured But Whole.
Fractured But Whole.
I don't sound like that.
Who the fuck is Master Chief?
Exclusives happen, third-party money has happened. I don't give a shit.
It was a pretty good podcast. I'd say 3 out of 5.
Killtacular.
Yeah, that was on Xbox, and the only way as a PlayStation fan that you can be happy about that is because you're happy that Xbox fans don't get to play it.
I finally finished Ori, which took me 36 hours, 1,338 minutes.
Like Forza they don't program in 0 to 60 numbers. They don't program in how tight a car can turn, how much traction a car has. They don't do any of that. But what they do is they put these statistics into their physics engine and they let their physics engine work it out for itself.
You know how many times I've argued with people and they're like, Persona 5! It's gonna, you know, and then it's like, it's the same shit all the time. It's like, I don't know, they have
to reality and you were like, take me out!
You know, exactly. Sony's gonna have more delays. It's just, it's a pattern all gen.
I played Minecraft Story Mode, and if you don't like it, then fuck you.
You can write into the show at letters@xboxuncut.com. And now, your host, Dustin.
Welcome to Xbox Uncut's weekly podcast. I'm back, and I just gotta say, thank you so much to One Saint for making that fucking epic intro for us. It's great. I love it. I'm gonna keep playing it. I might have to redo it again. I've already listened to it like 5 times today alone. I know we used it last week, but it gets me pumped. I'm excited.
I got a suggestion.
What's that?
We can cut off the part where they introduce you at the very end of it and use it as closing music as well.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I think that would be good, man. I think it would be good, because I'm digging it, man. That's really good. It's really good. Thank you so much, One Saint.
Well, how you doing, Vern?
I'm good. Sorry I missed last week. I've been having lots of internet issues, so hopefully we don't have any issues tonight. But I got a tech coming over again tomorrow night, so we'll see if we can get this all sorted out soon.
Yeah.
But loving the games right now. Loving the games.
I always go for video people first, because that's how it should work. Because one day I want to get somebody else on video. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Hey, man. These are privileges for being on camera, goddammit. I hope that intro just makes me look like such a nerd. It's about true, so. Love it.
I'd also like to welcome Tim Dog to the show. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Yeah, NPD win. Happy.
You're happy? That's good. That's good. I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah, me too.
Steve, SteveRules.com, place for all the best knowledge of video game news, where you need to go if you're going to go to a website. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you, Dustin. It's good to be here. Good evening, everyone. Shall I say good morning?
Well, the problem is, Steve,
the thing is,
he sounds depressed.
He always sounds depressed.
Especially now, though. I noticed it right when we joined Skype earlier.
I want a Steve Rules t-shirt.
I know.
What the thing is.
Come on, you guys have everything to be happy about as an Xbox fan right now.
They could say the thing is on the front and on the back, and they have a sad face.
Oh, it'd be perfect. Perfect.
He's mad now.
And then a Union Jack.
You just went there. I mean, come on.
I love you, Steve.
I'd also like to thank everybody for joining us on Twitch chat. Thanks, One Saint, Chaos Dasher, The Wicked Soul. Y'all are all awesome for hanging out with us.
I think we should start giving away stuff to people that join us in the chat.
We tried that.
Yeah,
I know.
We do every now and we get. I'm being honest. We do every time we get like a free code or something. We always send it out to Twitch chat.
You got to be in America though.
Why?
Sorry.
We have quite a few listeners outside of
Yeah.
North
Like,
America.
what's your problem?
Because our codes that we buy
unionist?
only work in the U.S. Sadly.
Oh, you're talking about that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wicked Soul wants to know what the
Xbox codes are
Uncut
worldwide.
Are they? I
Yes,
thought ours
apart
didn't work.
Apart from specific currencies, they are
Codes
all global.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to look
Steve
into that.
Steve,
then.
Steve knows. Hashtag it, bitches.
Thank
That's
you,
right.
Steve.
Thanks, Steve. Steve knows. But
Dusty, so you're a little less high this podcast, right?
less high.
You're pretty high last podcast.
Yeah, I'm. I got my stitches out of my mouth, so I can actually talk now. It's nice. I'm not like high on Vicodin.
It's not addicted.
Are you
just
mad?
yet.
Are you mad that you're not high?
No, not at all. Like I mean, this is like really off topic, but I don't actually get that effect from Vicodin at all. I'm more of a. I just get tired. Like it doesn't actually like make me feel. Oh my god! Like it's whatever. I don't. I'm better off with just ibuprofen. Fuck Vicodin. I'm not.
I'll take
I
the
get
Vicodin.
heartburn. I get heartburn from it.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Not a
I don't know.
fan.
Sometimes I'll feel it, but other times I get like you, just tired. It depends. Sometimes you're like loving everything, and then and then it always goes the opposite way though. It's a pendulum because then 2 days later, it messes with your digestive system. I don't know. It's kind of tough. I don't know how people take them every day, but whatever. You know what I mean? But
They're taking one pill at a time.
Tell you
So,
one
yeah,
thing,
so-
I could use one right now with my foot. My goddamn foot, guys. It hurts.
I don't need it. I'm so pent up on NPD win right now.
Yeah.
You're
That's all
ODing
I
on
care.
MPDs.
Yes, and the Gaff was stunned. Gaff was completely stunned today. I loved it, every second of it.
To be fair, I think they're a bit more stunned about something someone's just said.
Yes.
Oh.
Not good.
What happened?
Well, just go. What did they say?
Someone said that they'd be very disappointed if Halo 5 sold 500,000 units in those 5 days. And another poster said, you're setting the bar way too low. And then someone who we know is knowledgeable said that no, you're not setting the bar way too low.
Yes. So we're below 1.5 million for sure, and above 500,000.
Well,
It's probably closer to 500,000.
It seems. I don't know. A little bit funny, but I've no idea how the fuck they got to $400 million.
either way,
otherwise-
400 million is the cut. I mean, that's not a made up number. Obviously,
Yeah,
Including hardware.
It's including hardware, but that's still an amazing number.
They
I know
probably
it is, but I don't know how they got there personally.
Wow.
Are they including
Do you
Halo
suggest an
consoles,
investigation?
or are they including
Do you
all
a NeoGAF
consoles?
investigation right now on this?
No,
Steve?
I mean we'll get numbers.
We'll
Someone
fi-
will
we'll
leak
find
it.
out.
Yeah, someone
Yeah,
will leak
we'll
it later
find
on
out,
tonight.
November, December. After that, they're going to hit a
No.
pinnacle
Oh,
point.
no. We're talking about finding out the actual numbers for October. We'll find them out before the end of the night, probably around 11 o'clock or so.
Well,
It
we're
has
gonna
to have
find out
sold a
right
million.
now. Let's just go into our first news story. We'll hit news first because that's where we're at. The best-selling games for October announced. Halo 5 Guardians comes in at number 1.
Yes.
Followed by NBA 2K16, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Madden, WWE 2K16, blowing up the charts. Everybody
There's
knows.
no way though it could be 500,000 because there's no way Assassin's Creed, which is a multi-platform.
I think you're reading into that. Just wait
Yeah.
for the numbers.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Assassin's
I mean-
Creed is multi-platform. It must have sold over 500,000, right?
Well,
Yes,
yeah,
of
but
course.
we're talking about between 500,000 and a million.
You're
Yeah.
trying to figure out things in the wind. It's just
Yeah.
wait. It probably sold 1.3 million. Who knows? How you don't know digitals, you don't know console sales included.
They already.
You can't really even say you can't.
Well,
really
we're talking
even
about
say,
NPD. Obviously, that's not including.
I know,
digital,
but
so yeah.
that's why I'm saying it's
Yeah.
not a clear picture like it used to be. And that's the bottom line. You could say Halo is freaking dying all you want. The bottom line is not Halo is not dying. Anybody's
I'm
played
not
the
saying
game-
it's dying, dude. I'm not
but
saying it's
I
dying.
know that that's
But
slant
Halo,
is coming.
but when you look at the sales of Halo 3 and 4 compared to 5, it's obviously going down as far as sales. But I think it's because of Master Chief Collection.
To be fair, it was pretty obvious the sales were declining since Halo 3, and that's a fact.
Absolutely.
But
4 days on market.
yeah,
Very true.
Give it a little time.
And they already said that this is the largest digital release on Xbox One ever.
yeah, but
Besides, no, but just for retail games, right? Or
exclusive.
No, wait. If you say retail games, does that include Minecraft? Because Minecraft
No,
does have
they
a
said
retail
it was
release.
the largest digital release ever. They didn't say
No.
exclusive.
What I'm saying,
they excluded.
Look, what I'm saying is Minecraft came out on a retail release, which makes it bigger
Not
than
the
Minecraft.
first month it came out, though. Didn't it come out on disc after
But
it was
I
released
think-
in digital first?
I think
I think
they're
the
saying
wording
is-
was like for the first month or something. It wasn't for the first I don't know.
I just
I think it's everything
way
but
too
Minecraft.
presumptuous to think that this series dying. People, Halo 6 is going to be bigger than Halo 5. Yeah, as the numbers dipped a little, you could say that. But the momentum, I feel, is going on the up. Anyway, you're going to look at sales November, December. Halo's going to sell a ton of games.
No,
it might
I
not hit
agree.
it might hit the 10 million mark.
I agree.
I thought it was going to hit that, but it might hit 6
No.
million, 7 million.
But it's definitely repairing the brand. I think that's the predicament it's in right
I
now.
think this game. I think it's going to have legs because of its multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of
Yeah,
legs.
but Master Chief Collection hurt. And that's why I think Halo 5 is kind of fighting that. And it'll repair the brand, and Halo 6 will be better. That's my guess, you know?
I agree.
Plus, we got Forge to look ahead to and Big Team Battle. And,
Yeah, word of mouth is going to be good. I think the
Mhm.
community is going to stick with this game, especially after the way Call of Duty is released. I see a lot of Microsoft console gamers sticking more with Halo than COD this time because of that. So
yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. New Xbox One experience update drops Kinect gestures. Vern, what am I gonna do? I can't grasp in the air and lower the window.
you can't accidentally set off the hand just because you're laying funny on your sofa, right?
Like my computer or the tree in the back or something. I don't know. Like a cat
When you
that
take a
walks
drink,
outside the window.
when you take a drink, you won't
Yeah.
set it off.
No, I'm thinking of every other stupid reason it goes off. Not just, not like it actually tracked my hand going up towards the right. It was literally like a piece of wind blowing, and it just going. I saw that. You're trying to do something, aren't you? And it's like, no, I'm not. Just stop, Kinect, stop.
That's what happens when a feature is only used by 0.1%, 0.01% of the population. I don't know.
They misread the market on that one.
I still think it sucks that it's going, but it is what it is.
If no one's using it, then
Well, nobody's
There's-
using
you know, when
it.
we-
Look, here's the thing, Steve. Nobody's using it because nobody is making Kinect games. There's no
nobody's
reason to
using
use
it.
it.
They've done the internals. Nobody's using it.
No, but there are no games to use the Kinect with, so you're never in the predicament where you don't have a controller in your hands, where you need to fucking grab in the air and minimize stuff. Like if Kinect had 15 games or 20 games
you could
and it actually
say
was
it anyway.
supported, and was supported, you would still need a way to control the dashboard with Kinect, and that way you could select the games you're using and they would have put it in the UI. But they've kind of killed off all Kinect development. There is no touch games except for Kinect Sports Rivals, and it kind of there's no reason to use it. There's no reason.
Well, you got
to-
voice controls anyway. It doesn't matter.
No, I agree, but that's why hand gestures are gone. There's no reason to have it.
I will say on that front that whilst I do agree with your point, Dustin, I think it's worth considering that when the Xbox One was announced and there was all this Kinect stuff, they only actually announced one game that exclusively used Kinect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe they went and countered a bunch of titles that we didn't hear about, but it didn't. From what has transpired since then, they didn't seem to have a flood of Kinect games coming anyway.
No, I agree.
So I don't know whether or not it would have actually really made a difference.
If
Because
Kinect was a bigger
didn't
part,
seem like they had any.
I
if
still
Kinect
think it's
ended up
sad
being a
that
bigger
we're
part of
not
Xbox
seeing.
One, you wouldn't have had that issue. Like they would keep the design in the UI.
I still think it's sad that we haven't seen as much Kinect integration.
No,
as-
it's dead. It is dead. I hate to say it, guys. Come on. I'm Project Natal fan. It's the problem is that it's now shunned, and maybe to make a comeback. Who knows?
Do you guys really care
Yes,
about this?
About
I
gestures?
do.
No.
It hurts me deeply.
So I
it's
think
an
we can
end of
answer
an
it
era.
there.
I think
Like-
it's an end of an era.
We
but-
are 5 hardcore Xbox fans, and
I
we
use
don't
my
care.
Kinect all the time. But, yeah,
If-
not gestures.
Look,
Right.
development resources are, they're limited. So, and if dropping Kinect gestures, which no one uses, means that, this feature came in, or, I got something else that launched now rather than later, it's the right decision.
Yeah, but listen, here's the bottom line. They made the UI faster, and that's the biggest thing, and that's true.
It's awesome.
You just want to go to your party, you just want to receive your messages, and then you want to be able to play a game. You don't, it wasn't what their vision was. They pushed for it, nobody took it. So now it's like kind of like it's looked at, and I think Phil is just all about games. He wants to get away from. He wants speed. He wants games, and he wants to have your games wherever you go. I guess.
I got a question. The gestures used up to 10% reserve, didn't they?
Yeah.
No.
So doesn't this open up that reserve to the operating system itself?
Yes.
It's possible.
So that's probably
Yes.
a big reason for why they went through with this.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much killed the Kinect, but they're gonna have
Well, I would have
Cortana.
also thought that, sorry, Tim, that reserve probably could have been reduced as well.
Oh, yeah, sir.
But if you
Right.
could just get rid of it now, you don't have to have you could have a
Right.
full-on mode where you have,
So games
Well, they've
that
even-
have come out, games that come out after this update, might have a little more than that's possible.
They've even gotten rid of the IR in the controllers. So you can't even
Right.
remotely
yeah,
sync your
it's true.
controllers anymore, which I think sucks. I wish the Elite controller had it.
Yeah.
I had someone I was talking to someone who I know just got an Xbox One. They got the Halo 5 console. And, I was asking them, what do you think? And he was asking me that, he was trying to get the controller thing to work and it wasn't. They were a bit disappointed when I said that the controller didn't have it.
Yeah. And I can believe
Well-
them. It's because of the space with the bumpers. Because if you ever taken one apart, they fit a lot in that little damn controller. There isn't a lot of room up top there where they have the IR. Still sucks, though.
All right. Well, moving on to some really good news. Alan Wake 2 teased by Remedy Entertainment's Sam Lake. Creative director Sam Lake revealed at Game Informer 100 Questions Q&A session that Remedy Entertainment might eventually make an Alan Wake 2.
Yes! Yes!
When Lake was asked, will we ever get to play Alan Wake 2? His answer was decisive in one word, and it was yes! Vern, celebrate.
I'm
Getting
very
it?
excited
It's
about
coming
this.
one day.
I was like the first person to catch this, man. I was tweeting that right away when I saw this because it just like popped up randomly on the Game Informer Quantum Break section with the new videos and stuff for the current issue, and it hadn't gone live on the internet for people who weren't subscribers. So, yeah, I was tweeting that stuff right away, man. I was super excited. I still am. Now we don't know who's going to publish it, but just that he said yes without any kind of hesitation.
If,
Made me
if
very
Microsoft
excited.
aren't publishing it,
They're idiots.
just leave me alone for like 6 months, maybe 12. I'm going into Tim's bunker. I'm not coming out for a long while.
He's going to go on Tim's
I'm-
line.
Right
I'm
now
gonna
it's
be-
filled
I'm-
up.
I'm
Well-
going to be mad.
I would assume they're publishing it. Because when they asked Sam Lake about if the first game would be able to come to other consoles, he said we see Microsoft as our partner for this game, and I don't see that happening essentially. So, I think they're tied to Microsoft pretty good with this game.
If Alan Wake 2 is happening, it's happening with Microsoft's money being behind it in some way.
I hope so.
But it's
I think
going to
it's
also
just
take a
exclusive.
long time to get there, guys.
Oh, of course, yeah.
What does it mean?
It depends how they do it.
Well, they got to build an engine. Are they
Question.
going to go with the old engine? I doubt it.
No, they already
No,
made
they have
it.
the engine from Quantum Break. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I got a
No.
question, guys. What's first, Phantom Dust or Alan Wake 2?
Alan Wake 2.
Alan Wake 2.
Because Phantom Dust is never coming out. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
I think what's gonna-
that's gonna crash, but I'm sorry.
I'm going to predict that they're not going with a full-on Alan Wake 2 sequel like normal, though. I think they're going to do episodes.
You got to see. We got to play Quantum Break too. I mean, what if we play that game and that blows our minds?
Well, yeah, but the way they could make this game come out quicker and maybe even do it at the same time as working on a Quantum Break 2, if Quantum Break 1's successful,
They don't have
is
a
by
big
making
team.
put a smaller team on it and make it an episodic game. I mean,
Which
they don't
would
have
be
to go
fine.
all out.
People are going to want that all out, though. From what I'm hearing, everyone that I ask, pretty much in Microsoft, their inner circle or whatever you want to call it, everyone says the same thing, that Quantum Break is what they're most looking forward to. I mean, they might not say
Yeah,
it
that's going to be a big
publicly.
game.
They are all stoked about this. So there's something about. I mean, listen, it's Remedy, it's the
Sci-fi,
game, it's this guy
action.
Sean Ashmore. The only question about that
It's
game
got
is-
Littlefinger, man.
I've heard some people talking about some behind scenes stuff they've seen, and they said some of the time dilation events are absolutely amazing, like gigantic and absolutely amazing.
Well,
So-
the only thing that I think that could hurt this game is the movie aspects. You're basically going to go in from a chapter.
But they
you're
got
gonna-
good actors, though. They got really good
Yes.
actors.
So the thing is that you might, as a gamer, might have to change up a little and actually, going in first of all.
They're only
that's what-
22-minute episodes, and there's only 4 of them. It's not like it's going to take
Yeah.
up that much time.
It's not
I
as
think-
much as Metal Gear Solid 4. Come on, guys.
Right.
It isn't, and I hope it's looked at that way. But we all know that it might not be looked at that way. So I hope that's not a defeating feature of this game, because I'm ready to just play it and just take it all in, just like I'm taking in my game of the year right now, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Well, I think the limiting factor for Quantum Break is how much Microsoft put their marketing behind it, because that was the problem that Alan Wake had, was that it had a rubbish release date and it just got completely overshadowed. And
You mean kinda like Tomb Raider?
they didn't market it enough. Well, we haven't seen how Tomb Raider did yet.
Well, from what I hear, it's had low shipments to the actual stores. So
Well,
I don't think Microsoft even thought it would do that well.
Well, but I'm telling you, they didn't drop the price in America this holiday. They're not going to do it now, right?
No.
So I'm turning around and saying, you know what, that's perfectly fine. And I know why they didn't is because they didn't want people to see a pattern of Microsoft dropping $50 every year, because consumers will recognize it, Sony will recognize it. They're going to wait. They need to turn around at the end of March and turn around and say $299 on Xbox One with Quantum Break, and they need to stick Quantum Break in every Xbox One until next holiday.
Yep.
But they won't.
They need to offer a value that their competitors can't beat, and that's like bundling exclusive games, stuff like that.
Well,
Like-
apparently the white Gears of War console at Walmart, it's ringing up at $329 in their system, even though they're not selling it yet. So
Oh.
yeah, makes you wonder if there's going to be a small price drop or something.
You think
Just
Phil's
have-
going to come out and go, "Surprise, motherfuckers"?
I don't know.
They're not dropping.
Yeah.
$11, motherfuckers!
It's just a
And then
store
they're gonna drop
No,
the
it'd
mic.
be a promotion.
Yeah.
It's not
Well, there
gonna
is
be
a promotion starting again for the week of Battlefront. They're going to do the free game promotion again before
Smart.
Black Friday. So
Yeah.
that was just announced.
Black
that-
Friday seems to be a little disappointing. I don't know. Even though it's a $299 console, I just feel like I want $279 with a game and a controller or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Well,
Black
it's-
Friday deals are
but-
bad.
Do you feel disappointed though because the PS4 was also $299?
Yes.
Yeah, like it's just the whole market's just
Yeah.
like now I want it to be $279 with a game.
The Target deal's good though. The Target's $299, and then you get the $60 gift card.
Yeah, but that's like I just got a bundle with a controller and Halo 5.
Yeah.
So that deal, Well, my opinion for everyone that's listening here, and this is a no-brainer. If you can get the Elite console for $449 on Black Friday, because it's going to be selling at GameStop, that is the best way to go. This console, I cannot tell you how good it is. The controller is good. The console is faster. I asked, is it Ibarra, Vern?
Mikey Barra.
Okay. I don't know how to say his name, apparently. I asked him, I said, did you guys do tests? He said no. But I can tell you, games load faster. They install faster. There's none of that lag or the tiles that are missing that sometimes come up and wait to pop up. This is just, it's just more fluid. And
I was about to say, games like Fallout 4 actually have better frame rate because of the loading.
Well, any games that have streaming like that.
Yeah. It's going to be better.
So that 20% difference makes a difference, is my point. So that's the starting point I would go. And the controller is absolutely, if you're a gamer, it is a must-have.
Well, and as far as load times, I did test Grand Theft Auto 5, and I compared it to loading it for the first time and then loading it a second time. And loading it the second time from starting the game all the way to actually being able to play it was about a 35-second time difference. So,
quick question, Vern. On that test, did you go to single player or multiplayer?
Single player both times.
Okay, just making sure.
And you get the sweet-ass case, and it really is a sweet-ass case.
So the solid state partition, or not partition, but the solid state portion, is making a difference on a second load.
You know what I want now?
Plus, if you have a 70, like I have, any external I get is going to be 7,200 RPM. I just think that's set up right now. I have that in the man cave. If you do that, you're maximizing your speed, which is
but I think you have to be careful with 7,200 RPM drives. A 5,400 RPM drive can be just as fast as a 72, depending on the density of the platter. So always read reviews on the external hard drives you're looking at, and because let's say you get a 6 terabyte platter, on a single platter, which I don't think even exists yet, but that would be faster than a 2 terabyte 7,200 drive, even if it's 5,400 RPM, because of the density. So.
Right, so how do you tell the density?
You got to see if it's on a single platter or a dual platter. It'll actually tell you read-write rates, and that's what matters. And seek times. Seek times are always going to be bad when it comes to huge platters because it has to go through the whole platter. But if you have, let's say, like I said, 6 terabyte on a single platter, that's going to be faster than 2 terabyte on a single platter at the same RPM.
My new request for the new accessory, I want an Elite stereo headset. Wireless. Actually built nice with good quality. I'd buy it. They should do it.
I think a lot of people would actually be interested in that. So
they should do it. They really should.
Make a whole Elite brand.
Yeah. Dude, they could make this Elite brand something big if they wanted to.
A headset that's all just
it's been so successful.
It has to be something that works alongside that works with PC as well, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did with the Elite controller.
I want a part 2 of this controller too. I'd like to see a part 2 with a mute button on the controller, all kinds of stuff. I could see tons of ways to improve this controller, and it's already excellent.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do it a year after. They may give it a couple of years.
Yeah. They're definitely establishing this thing as the PC gaming controller, though, and that's. We knew the Valve VR was coming with an Xbox One controller. Is it going to come with an Elite controller now?
No.
Or is it just going to come with a regular one?
Just a regular Xbox controller.
That's too bad.
All right. Well, moving on to the next article. Just Cause 3 renders at 900p on Xbox One, 1080p on PS4. So.
So it's gonna have better frame rate. I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, it's marketed by Microsoft, right?
I believe so. Yep.
So it'll probably be pretty good because those games they market, they tend to send their guys to help on performance. It seems so.
To be honest, I was a little surprised, simply because they seem to have done a really good job with. Not that they didn't do a good job with Just Cause, but they seem to have done. Mad Max was that 1080p, and that was the same on both.
Well, Mad Max doesn't get as vertical as Just Cause is. Just Cause, you're going to be all up in the air and everything, and there's bigger explosions and more physics, and this is going to be a more intense game graphically than Mad Max is.
That's a fair point.
It's going to be a CPU intensive game too, so I'm interested to see how it's going to turn out.
Talking about intensive games, because I'm not dwelling on this article. Minecraft might be coming to the Wii U. It's going to push the limits of what that console can handle.
Didn't get announced today at the Direct, though.
It did not, but it was rated in Europe.
It was.
I wonder if they're going to get the Windows 10 version or the regular version they have on consoles.
It would definitely be the 360 and PS3 version.
Yeah.
Because if it's the PS4 and Xbox One version, then everybody will say, well, why did you not make a version that could do so much more than what the power can obviously do? So it'd be the 360 version.
I don't agree.
PS3 version. But it's interesting because if Microsoft are doing something for Nintendo, as I said to Dustin, then I want Nintendo to do something for me.
Pokemon HD.
They won't do that.
I want I want that GoldenEye game that was 2 months away from launching. No, I'm finished. It was 2 months away from launching, and after that, Rare then stopped making Xbox Live Arcade games. So fuck you, Nintendo, and I blame them. That game, and I don't care if they have to do a Wii U version because that's reasonable because it was a Nintendo game. I haven't got a problem with that. I'm not saying that I want something that they can't have, but if Microsoft are going to put one of the biggest franchises in gaming on a Nintendo platform, then they can get their head out of their asses and do something for me.
I was telling Steve, I think this is a move for a bigger plot, not just. I think the NX might be Microsoft's next console. That's all I'm saying.
NX gonna be
Microsoft's buying Nintendo. It's happening.
Well, in my opinion, of the Minecraft to Wii U, that is smart, and that is a deal that you want to have happen if you're Microsoft. You want to push the brand. You want to have as many people touch Minecraft as you can. It was an incredible buy. I mean, how many people said that was a bad buy? Let's be honest. A lot of people did. It was an incredible buy. And you just want to maximize your potential. So I would release it to anything.
No, but
I think
I think Minecraft, the Wii U has sold so poorly. I don't think it matters if it would have released on the Wii U or not. I think
I disagree because you have the 3DS a Mario Maker sell 1 million. So in 2 days or whatever. So you still have people who buy games Minecraft is known about, and you are one of its biggest fans, Dustin. It's gonna sell.
Yes, but more likely, if you own a Wii U, you own another console already, and you have access to Minecraft.
If they're going to get anything out of this deal, it's probably going to be getting Minecraft on the 3DS, and that would be huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
They need put it on the new 3DS because it's got more power.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you probably won't get it to run reasonably. I mean, even if you ended up giving it
dude, if they put I have to tell you, if they put the Pocket Edition on it, it won't have any problem whatsoever. That version runs insanely smooth, even on a Lumia 520. Like, it will have no problem whatsoever.
Minecraft Amiibos confirmed? Anybody? No?
Minecraft Amiibos?
Wow. To be honest, I can't see Nintendo doing Microsoft such a solid.
They're not really doing them a solid. I mean, it sells 3DSs too. I mean,
they do themselves. It's a win-win situation for both.
Amiibos is their big thing. I'd be very surprised if they did a Minecraft Amiibo.
I'm more curious
I think
what
that Sony and
the deal
Nintendo.
Is.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh no, I'm just more curious what the actual deal is. Like you were saying, Steve, I think this has to lead to something else. I don't think Microsoft looks at it as just a way to get Minecraft on the 3DS. I don't think that's the big payoff. I mean, yeah, it hits more kids, but why not wait till the NX? Skip the Wii U. I mean, it's kind of dead. Like, why do it at all? You're better off just waiting for the NX, hitting the next platform that the mobile platform for the 3D. Maybe you want to get the 3DS because it's sold a lot. They're not sure how mobile's going to do in the future. That makes sense, but the Wii U, I don't get it.
Well,
Maybe
the 3DS is still the
It's-
largest selling console in existence, so
It's the
right now anyway.
They
It's
haven't sold it on
easy
Wii U at
money.
all, so it's easy money. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. These you look at
it'll
it
happen.
as what it would do. I mean, I don't know if it would sell 1 million or something, but if you want easy money, and even kids games, there are some kids games that sell better on Wii U. Like there's some of the Lego titles that sell better on the Wii U than they do Xbox One and PS4. Occasionally, or there's been a bit of a changeover, but now they're selling more than 360 and PS3 did. So there's definitely a market there for it, and it's the sort of thing where Microsoft say we spent 250 million on this. If we can go and get 10, 20 million or something for not much effort, you'd go and do it.
No, it's true. It's true.
I hope Nintendo comes out punching next generation. I really do.
Yeah,
They might.
they still haven't given me the one game that I actually want. So
They need to. We need more competition. As much as people want to hate on, I wish people didn't come into this gaming industry. More competition is better.
to be honest, I think that the more competition is how big PC is. I'm not entirely sure that the retail market's going in a way sufficiently that could hold 3 successful platforms like it did last generation. Because so many of those people went off to other devices.
Well,
I don't know if
technically,
it's-
we
they're
didn't
big enough.
even. We wasn't even in. It almost feels like we wasn't even in the same market as the 360 and PS3. Like it's sold based on a completely different kind of person.
But what you had when the Wii died, because it stopped getting games, was that a lot
Yeah.
of people migrated to 2 places. They either went to the mobile, or they went and got 360s, because as soon as the Wii stopped doing anything, the 360 got an immediate upshoot because of Kinect, and all of the sort of family titles started doing ridiculous numbers on 360 where they weren't doing them before. So
They
it's
could,
definitely around.
if they came out, they really could. If NX launched Super Mario NX, Donkey Kong NX, redo the 64 thing, I'd buy one straight up.
I would argue that the reason Microsoft did so well at the end of the generation with kids is because of Kinect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
No,
these
Kinect
things
alone
helped.
is what brought people away from Wii to the Xbox, was Kinect. It was Kinect bowling and all the stupid games like that and the fitness stuff, and it was just that same mass market. That's why it was, what is it? I don't know if it still is, but the fastest selling consumer device of all time. It was insane what it did.
No, I think the iPad beat it a couple of years later.
Yeah.
But it's still competing with the iPad is pretty insane for a fucking camera for a console.
Yep. But we're going to move on to Xbox One's official backwards compatibility list. We got to play some games today because it actually
It sucks.
released.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
Get it out.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I wasn't happy with it, but when I took a step back and then actually read them all the titles and decided how many of them I actually want to play, I saw, there's about 6 or 7 games on there I actually really do want to play. So I was like, in another month there might be another 6 or 7, and another month after that it might be another 6 or 7. And
I
that all adds up.
It feels like this list was made to get out there for people that owned a lot of these games digitally, or at least a lot of arcade games.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Because they didn't want to come out with a bunch of games people didn't own, and then people would bitch that they had to buy them all, and all so on and so forth. I don't know.
Well, I think because November's such a big month, we just had September and October where there were lots and lots of releases, and November's got even more big hitters: Tomb Raider, ZCODs, Fallout, whatever. I don't necessarily think that they wanted to put some big titles on there, and they had the big titles. I think the biggest ones are Gears, and you've got Fable, and you've got Mirror's Edge, and you've got some other ones. But I think that they just looked at it and just thought, we should milk this for, what we can, and we should spread out these releases so that every month we get, decent games that people want, rather than just flooding them all at the beginning, and then the rest of the months looking bad in comparison as it stretches along because they're not as exciting titles.
Yeah. And
this way, on down months, when they don't have a big game coming out, maybe there's a big backwards compatibility game they can push.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how one game series in a particular will really... This game series will say whether or not their backwards compatibility is really doing well, and that's Forza 4. If that can maintain a lock 60 in backwards compatibility at all times, that's going to be pretty goddamn impressive. Same with Horizon running at a lock 30. Because there aren't very many games that run at a lock frame rate that you can really go by. But some of these will be interesting to see how they perform, and will really be a testament to what a great job they did with it.
Just that Judgment even came at launch. It says a lot about the emulator.
It's worth noting that I can't get Judgment to run for me. It just says no.
What happens?
Well, every time I do it, it just does something for like a couple of seconds, like it doesn't do anything for a couple of seconds, and then just, sorry, that didn't work. And then you tap it, and then it waits another couple of seconds, and it pops up with another message with an error on it. It's just like, no, it took too long.
That's strange.
Gears 3 worked, but Judgment didn't, so maybe even the backwards compatibility team at Judgment wasn't as good as 3. I don't know.
Have you tried restarting your Xbox and then tried it again? Or
I have tried restarting my Xbox.
That's weird. I'll have to try it out tonight later.
Yeah.
All right.
Pac-Man looks good in other news.
Yeah.
Fable 2 runs well.
Doom runs perfectly.
Does
I
it?
I wonder. I know
Pac-Man
y'all
to
were
run.
worried that Doom wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
run. It works great.
We're going to have a Doom night tonight?
What a day for freaking Xbox, man. You have Battlefront. Have you guys played that? You have that. You have Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Speaking of Battlefront, they improved the performance a lot from the beta to what was released yesterday. Quite a bit. I mean, it still looks like it's 720p, but as far as the frame rate's concerned, I'm not seeing those weird dips down to like the 40s and 50s or low 50s.
Did you guys see Arthur Geist complain about the review embargo and EA access?
First of all,
No,
it's a valid
he's
complaint.
He's perfectly right by that. It's ridiculous.
I think so too. I agree with Steve.
Because the thing is if he would have went to that place to go review it, he wouldn't be able to talk about it until the day of release for everybody. But if he doesn't go to that place to talk about it, he gets it on EA Access, can play through it in a couple nights, write a review, and put it up. Because he played it on EA Access. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I would think that a reviewer should have more than 5 days to accurately review a game.
No, I agree,
I
but
don't think most games get the privilege of having 5 days.
This game was running on empty getting to that finish line. Like, they're just rushing to get this game done and out, I think.
Well, there's no single-player campaign, and
No.
it doesn't seem like there's a lot of depth to the game in general. I think it could end up suffering like Titanfall did. It'll have big initial numbers, and then the community will just die pretty quickly.
It's going to do that because of the Star Wars thing, too. I mean, it's going to wear off.
I think reviews are going to make a difference, too. If the reviews are all really stellar, it'll probably have decent legs. But if the reviews come out and they're not very good, it'll be a big launch, and then it'll just die.
Yeah. I think the thing that'll keep it alive is the movies, or the movie, and then I just think they're just going to see a bump out of that, and then it's going to be over.
all right.
I have a hard time recommending it, because then when you play the game, and if you've played Battlefield 3, you played Hardline, or Battlefield 4, I'm sorry, it feels like Battlefield. Like, it doesn't, it feels like Battlefield. If all you care about is the Star Wars thing, that's fine. But if all you care about that game is how it plays, I hate to say it, go play Battlefield 4 for free.
It's different from Battlefield 4.
Battlefront
because there's
feels different. It feels closer to COD as far as the controls are concerned. than it does
Well,
to.
the weapons don't have any, like, the bullets don't fall. I mean, because you're using lasers. There is no...
Right, so you don't get the recoil.
Yeah, so...
So it
Well,
feels
no,
more
not
like
just that.
COD.
Like, Battlefield, your bullet drops the farther a target is out from your gun. So, like, you have to take that in consideration. So you got recoil, you got the bullet drop, you got all this stuff in Battlefield that you're paying attention to when you're playing. And this, it's kind of like, oh, you don't even fucking, you just shoot and go. Like, it's COD, like you said, but it's still feels like Battlefield, but it just, because it's more fast, you don't have to worry about like 3/4 of the shit you used to.
I didn't even know that. That if you actually, like, say you're sniping in Battlefield, correct?
Yeah, you got to take everything in consideration.
You
Your
have
bullet
to
drops.
aim higher a little. Because
Most people won't be affected by this because most people don't play as snipers. But if you do snipe, yes, you got to take into account bullet drop.
Jason, have you
I didn't
played
know that.
Battlefield? Everybody's recon. Everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they're not.
Dude, there's so many recon in Battlefield. It's ridiculous. But, well, we need to get off news. That's it for news, people. We are done with news. Steve.
Yeah.
I need you, Steve. I need you to tell me about game releases.
Game release as well. This is a.
So excited.
What can I say is, it's going to be a
Game
big week next week.
releases.
Might help if my webpage was loading. That might get a bit more enthusiasm from me.
it's been a rough
Right.
day.
There's this
Yeah, it's been a rough
Battlefront
day.
game coming.
Okay.
And,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. On the November 16th, big release, Games with Gold, Night Squad.
A quick
That's gonna be
question.
free for
I gotta
everyone.
just a quick comment. Could you sigh after every release?
I can do that. So November 16th, Night Squad.
That one's free.
That was one of my free games this month. Fucking Night Squad. Next up on November 17th, we have the blockbuster expansion pack, The Crew Wild Run, bitches. I should point out, by the way, at this point, that I thought The Crew was garbage, so I'm not going to be excited for that. Also, on November 17th, another big release, Star Wars Battlefront. And that's...
No, wait.
that's-
You're not
that's-
sighing anymore. You're like drinking a Coke. It's like a Coke commercial. You're just like, oh, it tastes so good. Like,
Yeah. So,
Well, the thing is,
you want to go, Jason? Because
the
I'll tell
gauntlet has been
you,
put down.
I'm like a donkey on edge.
look, Steve, here's the thing. Just need to keep going, bro. Sorry. Keep going.
Just getting too hard, man. I just can't take all this.
Do you want to argue? We can argue if it makes you feel better.
I'm not in an argument mood. I'm just, I'm a bit upset that I'm trying to play Gears Judgment and it won't work.
It's because you need to play some Horde mode with me tonight.
Oh,
We need to do it, Steve. We need to do it.
we can't tonight. I've got to go to bed after the show.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
It's just like
Is that everything? Yeah.
yeah, no, that's it.
Thank
Oh,
you,
actually, there is another release tomorrow. Us filthy tier 2 peasants get that crappy Tomb Raider game. If anyone's interested. Yeah.
Tomb Raider. If only it released on the PS4 first. Sorry.
Well, all those issues we've had with it so far, they'll all be fixed on the PS4 version, so don't worry.
I love people going, Street Fighter's different. Yeah, you're right, because it's never coming to the other console.
Yeah, they stole it completely.
And then I love
I
people
called
say,
it out on Twitter.
I love people say, well,
Jason,
Street Fighter wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Capcom. You're telling me Capcom's biggest cash cow wouldn't have happened if someone else didn't pay for it.
I specifically
kidding me.
trolled Twitter
That is
with
second
the
biggest,
comment
right?
about how
It's behind Resident Evil.
I was trolling Twitter with I
It's
guess
still
I'll be
one
playing
of-
Street Fighter V with my Elite controller on my PC and my wireless dongle. You know, the real way to play Street Fighter V. PC. Fuck you, fanboys.
Bottom line, that game would have happened. I believe they already came out and said that it would have just taken longer. That's
Right, it
it.
would have been a year out.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I don't want to break up this conversation, but I do have some breaking news. There is
Breaking
another-
news!
I don't want anyone to be alarmed. A huge release next week. I can't believe I forgot it. I feel like I've done this game a significant injustice. I'd like to apologise to the Deadpool remaster coming out on the 17th. I'm sorry, Deadpool. I'm sure you're going to be a stellar port.
No.
All right. Well, that's it for releases. Thank you, Steve, for supplying us with size, enthusiasm, and everything you do for the show.
It's a British minute.
Yeah.
No problem.
Vern, I heard we got some letters. Maybe some
We do have
smoke
letters.
signals.
Were all the letters last week read? All 6 of them, by the way?
Yes, I read
Yes.
through them.
Okay.
When we were done, and we started letters when we started the podcast. It was an hour and a half in when we finised the letters.
Yeah, I figured it would have gone a while, but there were a bunch of them.
And
This
that,
week
and
we
that
only
was
have 3.
mostly me monologuing.
Yeah.
It literally was just the Steve show for a while. Even on one of the letters, Dustin was just like, "Steve, go ahead," and then I was just gone. I was getting myself
was
worked up as well.
It was the question about, like, what are the do you think Microsoft's going to allow first-party devs to produce more IPs than just da-da-da? And I'm sorry if I'm not getting the question 100% right. And do you think Microsoft and having first-party studios designed for
Vern,
just
you would have loved the letters
specific
last
games,
episode.
and it was just like the Steve Rule show for a good 50 minutes. Just like, yeah, I don't think this is how devs are going to do it. It's just ain't going to happen. No. But,
Well, anyway, we got 3 letters this week, and 2 of them are
Three.
from one person. So it's gonna be a smaller letters segment of the podcast. So I'll start with the first letter. This one's from Old No Bones, and it is titled "Question for Vern." It says, "Hello, Vern." So I guess it's not to you guys. How are you
Like, that's
doing?
yourself.
No, I didn't. It's from Old No Bones. I said. It says, "Hello, Vern. How are you doing?" Well, first off, I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Old No Bones. I'm really happy you asked me, and it makes me feel good. Then he says, "My wife and I started to go to the opera, and I thought I heard one time that you performed in them. So here's my question, Mr. Golden Throat. What operas would you recommend? We have seen Don Giovanni, The Magic Flute, and Turandot already. Have you performed in any prominent roles in these or others? Also, since this is a gaming podcast, I guess I can ask if any game soundtracks have really stuck out to you. Lately, a few soundtracks have really blown me away. Fallout 4, Ori, and Halo 5 really nailed it. Favorite game soundtrack of all time would have to be something Nobuo Uematsu did in Final Fantasy. So first off, operas that I'd recommend. I like a lot of them. And since you've seen Don Giovanni, The Magic Flute, and Turandot already, I'd probably suggest sticking to some Mozart and Puccini, since you'll probably feel pretty comfortable listening to those. So, if I were going to recommend a good Mozart opera, I would listen to Così fan tutte. It's actually the same guy who wrote the libretto as Don Giovanni as well. So,
Vern, I think everybody's just waiting for you to sing a little for us. No, maybe.
no, I'm not going to sing any right now. Not singing. Sorry.
Why not?
But
Tell Maria she needs to go practice so we can hear in her background about that.
anyway, Così's a good one. Così, it's about these 2 guys that pretty much make a bet that they can get their opposite women to cheat on them with each other. Essentially, it's kind of sick when you think about it.
What does it work?
The guys win. Yeah, the women cheat.
Yeah, sluts.
Yeah, the women cheat, and then they reveal it all, and they're just like, okay, that's the ending.
Okay, you just ruined it for Old No Bones. You didn't need to spoil it now.
It's about
Well, the
the whole
second act sucks
experience.
anyway. The first act's really good. I mean, just from beginning to end, it just flows really well. There's a lot of great ensemble pieces and everything. It's a really great first act, and then it's kind of a choppy second
So,
act.
Old No Bones, don't stay. You could just leave after the first
No,
act.
no. Go, stick around because the drinking.
If the parking sucks, go ahead. Just start walking out.
Well, the drinking quartet at the end is really good, so it's worth sticking around. But yeah, I'd check that one out. And then if you want to see a good Puccini opera, Puccini's the one who wrote Turandot, which you saw. I would check out La Boheme. It's a classic. Everyone loves it. If you're familiar with the musical Rent, Rent was actually based on that opera La Boheme. So go check that out. And as far as me doing any roles in any of those shows you've seen, the only one I've been in out of those three is The Magic Flute. I did sing. I've sung at Tamino twice, actually. Two different productions of that. So, and then Don Giovanni, I've never been in, but I have sung the arias for auditions and stuff. So I'm pretty familiar with it. So yeah, there you go. Now let's move on to game soundtracks. What do you guys think about game soundtracks? What are your favorites?
Halo 5. It's awesome.
Yeah, but we can go beyond there.
No, are we talking about this year or just all time?
Ori.
All time. Let's go all time.
I mute a lot of games.
You do? Do you
What'd you say,
really?
Steve?
I said I mute a lot of games.
Don't tell me that's true.
I don't know you, Steve.
Don't tell me that's true.
I got a question. I need
That's
to
why
know.
you're so angry.
It's hard.
Wait,
it's
what
hard
if
to
I
be
made
so-
my
such
own
a downer.
soundtrack
Dude,
for
are
a
you
game?
honestly? Let's be honest, Steve, because this is going to something that you're going to have to change. Do you play on mute?
Not the first time.
What does that mean?
Well, I'll go through a game first, and the second time, if I'm just trying to get achievements or something, then I might turn the sound off. Listen to my
Especially in
music or
Guitar
something.
Hero, Steve did it the whole time.
There's only one franchise I mute the audio on, and that's Forza, so I can listen to the cars. That's about it. I have to say Halo, man. Halo's my favorite. I really love Halo.
Vern, are you okay?
I'm just upset with you, Steve.
I got my favorite soundtrack. I figured it out.
Is it the Stick of Truth?
Minecraft. I'm down for the Minecraft soundtrack. It's awesome.
It's really good. It is really, really, really good. I would almost agree with you. I mean, I'm not even a big Minecraft fan, but
It
that
has
is a
good
great soundtrack. It's some great mood pieces. It's perfect.
But if I was gonna if my own custom soundtrack, because that's all I did back on the 360 generation was play my own music while playing games. Come on, Microsoft, bring it back, and I need that feature. Was playing Megadeth during Gears of War the whole time, just fucking playing through all those albums over and over and over again. That's all
I
you
can
needed.
never play music that's not from the game while I play the game. It just doesn't feel right.
Well, I mean, Megadeth did make a
don't even know
song
you, Vern.
specifically for
I
Gears of
understand where
War.
Vern's coming from. I like to take.
I
it
just
all-
no. It's like I attach it to the game, just
Yeah,
like
I
the
do too.
visuals. I
Like in
see it
Ori-
as part of the entire experience.
Yeah, like Ori was, in my opinion, that and Halo 2. But I'm going to actually give it to Ori. Ori was the best, score and everything that went around with it. That just completely consumed me. It was emotional.
Had
It was
1,000
the best-
deaths, yeah.
Well, it did take you 35 hours.
Oh yeah, well.
Something had to
But I
keep
mean,
you
there's one
back.
particular part where he gets past the magical forest or whatever it is. When you come up, I don't want to give away what the game is, but where he meets Guman again, and that was just, I don't know. It was just the music is just. I'd actually play that game Ori for 2 just to play it again, just to hear the music. That's how good it was. Best of all time for me. So I never felt that strongly.
Are you getting hyped for the definitive edition?
I don't know. I've asked what
There's going to be new music in it.
Yeah, I'll get it. But do I? Is it going to be $5 or is it going to be 20?
They did say that there's going to be an upgrade path. So
But they said it would be comfortable.
yeah, so I reckon it'll be like $7.50 or
$5.
something.
Yeah, I'll get it for sure.
Also, the
Sorry.
Greek mythology music pack.
We gotta get
not music pack,
this
but
guy
Greek
on the
mythology.
show.
Oh yeah, I know. And he hasn't responded back to me. He said he would
I'm
be
gonna
on the
say
show,
s-
and I still
I'm
haven't
gonna
heard
say
from him yet.
something.
So we're gonna
You know
we're gonna
what?
make this happen.
I gotta go back. I'm sorry. I gotta go back. I don't play Killer Instinct a lot, so I forgot about it, but I gotta go Killer Instinct.
It's really good too, man. That's really good.
Yeah, I completely forgot about Killer Instinct. And oh
Nick
my god,
Gordon.
Spinal. Spinal's the only game thing other than that and the Halo 4 main menu music, I will actually go to YouTube to listen to.
My favorite track's the Orchid one.
Yeah. It's
I'll tell you one
so
game
good.
that's coming out that's gonna. I'm interested in what you guys, especially Vern, is if you have played the beta Fable Legends. It seems to
The
have
music's
a really,
great.
Yeah,
it's
it seems to be really good.
It's really good. I don't know if it sticks out as wanting to listen to it on its own, but it fits the game really nicely. It reminds me a lot of the stuff John Williams did for Harry Potter. So yeah, which is you're in good company if you're being
Yeah.
told you're similar to John Williams. So I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's
Well,
good.
Vern,
It is
did
really
you
good.
list
I like it.
yours?
My favorite one is actually Nights into Dreams. I love it. And it's not. I'm fully aware that it really isn't as good music as some other games, but it's my favorite game of all time, and like I said, I can't remove the music from the game.
Can I give a game an honorable mention?
Completely
real quick?
attached. Yeah,
BioShock soundtrack is fucking outstanding.
yeah, they got all the crazy violins and Bartok
Yeah.
influenced sounds and everything. Oh, it's
So
fucking
good.
awesome.
Someone said Fallout radio music. I can't agree, man, because there's just not enough. Like I've played 28 hours of that game now, and after listening to Diamond City Radio for about 2 hours, you start hearing the same songs over and over. And even though they're good, at a certain point, it just gets repetitive as a son of a bitch. And I don't understand, with the amount of money that game makes and the amount of money they put in development, why they couldn't add, I don't know, 10 more songs, 20 more songs.
Especially since all the music in that period that they're like kind of ripping off is all fair use now.
Yeah, it's just throw it in. I'm sure there'll be mods that add music.
And I'm being dead serious. All that music has hit fair use at this point. They could have like 20s, 30s music like just jammed in there nonstop, and
That's what's going to happen with mods, is people are going to add in fair use music.
that'd be really cool.
To get back to soundtracks, though, like I will say probably 3 of my favorite all-time gaming soundtracks have come out in the last year, which is absolutely nuts. That's how amazing the quality of music is in games now. It's getting better and better and better. And those 3 would be Ori and the Blind Forest, Halo 5, and The Order, 1886. Not a great game, but the music was absolutely incredible. That's the best stuff Jason Graves has done.
I'm
We're
glad
going to win an
we're
award for something. Because certainly wasn't for his investment in it.
I'm
What'd
really
you say?
glad we've got dedicated audio chips back.
Hmm. But what'd you say, Steve? Award for who? What?
I said I'm glad it won an award for something.
Oh, The Order. Okay. Yeah.
We got the Black
Fastest
Bars
overlooked
Award,
game.
best use of Black Bars.
That goes to the evil
Honestly,
within.
I can't deal with that. I'm sorry.
What, Black Bars? I can't.
Cannot deal with it.
I can't either.
Can't deal with people like, oh, put it on your Blu-rays. I hate it on Blu-ray too.
Yeah.
Just fill my screen.
It's,
Like,
dude, if you watch Batman, what is it, The Dark Knight and the IMAX scenes, just awesome when it goes full screen. Fucking love it. And then it goes right back to the black bars, and you're like, this isn't as good. Like, I want this entire movie to be IMAX. God damn it. Yeah,
All right.
no, I
Well-
completely agree.
What's the next part of the question, Vern?
I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, they just says what game soundtracks have stuck out and what's your
Okay.
favorite. So I think we're good there. I think we're good there. So thank you for writing No Bones.
Read his next
well, you do have one.
Yeah.
Well, he has one more, so we might as well go to his second email. And the second email says, "What was your first game console? Tell us how your gaming addiction began."
good question.
Well, it all started with the NES.
Yeah.
And that changed my life.
Yeah,
Trying
we
to
were
land-
NES.
Trying to land a plane in Top Gun. It was just, it was amazing, frustrating, and ever since then I've been addicted to video games. But like,
think-
what truly got me personally into it, and I've talked about it on the show before, is the VHS tape of the making of Donkey Kong Country. And that was the most amazing thing I ever saw. I watched that videotape like 8 billion times and was like, oh my god, and that was one of my favorite games of all time, is Donkey Kong Country. It was just amazing, and that's what made me into the fanatic I am today. I can thank Nintendo. Anybody
I
else?
think the first, I know this isn't console related, but I think the first game I ever played was like a paint program on a PC. But yeah, the NES was our first console, and then our parents gave it away and all of our games to another kid that we know, and we still hate them to this day.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we got a Super Nintendo that year, so
yeah.
I'm going to throw out a crazy one. You guys won't even know about this game. It came out in 1982. I mean, I was born in 80, so I wasn't old enough to play it at 2 years old, but I did play it when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And it was for the TI-99, the Texas Instruments like computer that could play games, and the game was called Parsec. And this game was such a bullshit game. It was such a bullshit game. It was just a typical like fighter pilot type game. But I mean, at the time, it just absolutely blew my mind. So that was the first game. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Video games are the best thing ever. But then it kind of went on a break for about 2 years. And I would play like games in arcades and stuff like that. But it wasn't like I was playing games all the time. I was, I'm 4 years old. When I was about 6 years old, though, I think we got the NES. And at the time, we got Rad Racer, the Olympic Games game, Urban Champion, and Super Mario Brothers, which was the game that came free with it. I didn't care about the free game because who gives a shit about the free game? Obviously, that's just some pack-in no one wants to play, right? So I decided I would play Rad Racer first, and I was like, this game sucks. It's nothing like Pole Position. I want Pole Position. So I didn't like that one. And then I played Urban Champion, and Urban Champion's like the worst fighting game ever made. Don't ever play it. Don't ever listen to anyone who says it's good. Olympic Games, that was pretty fun. That was actually pretty fun. And I was like, okay, I'll try out this stupid Super Mario Brothers, whatever this dumb game is, And I started, and I just did not stop. I completely skipped dinner. I skipped lunch. My parents were like, you gotta get to the table, blah, blah, blah. And I played it absolutely nonstop. And that was when the true addiction began.
yeah.
It was Super Mario Brothers.
I have
I
a
know it's
similar
kind of
story with
cliche,
Halo.
but it just that was the game, man.
Halo did that to me. I remember playing that for the first time and just like binging on it nonstop all day. It was amazing.
I think my first gaming memory
Console.
is console. It was 1993 in rural England, and I remember it was Christmas. It's one of my earliest memories. My brother got a NES.
You called it a
wasn't mine.
NES?
Yeah,
It was a
What'd you
skin
call it?
condition.
an
Is that-
NES.
Is that like a British thing to say NES? I hear SNES too. I've heard
Yeah,
that
I don't know. That's just what I always called it.
Yeah.
I liked playing Duck Hunt. I like ducks. They're peaceful animals, and they got the what's it called? The beaks.
You like the asshole dog?
Yeah, it's fun.
I feel like you need a hug, Steve. Just seriously.
I
Can
wouldn't
we
hug
give
him.
we'll just give him a group hug.
Virtual
Don't-
hugs.
Don't give
Uh,
Steve a hug. He's naked.
Did you wake up?
I'm gonna
early
show. I'm gonna show how to type hugs in chat. I mean, I can't really say this over the
today? Can you
podcast, but
give him a hug for me?
here we go. That's how you do a hug. That's how you do a hug, Steve. Look in chat.
Oh, thanks, man.
You ever
Steve,
see that
I
before?
love when you're fired up, but today you just what? Did you have a long day today, or you mad
no,
about Gears?
You had a long day playing video games.
Is it this Gears thing? Is this really eating at you?
Well, he only completed like 4 games this week. He 100%ed them, and that's just not enough.
Did you play this the Peanuts game?
I did
that
not.
Phil told me to get.
I
Phil
think.
told you to get it.
No, he said he was playing it.
Oh,
I think. To be fair, it may well be
You
that
liked
I'm
it.
still having a massive come down after finishing Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and wondering exactly how life could get much worse. That's how literally. And the more I think about it, the more I just think how just dreadful it was. Oh my word!
it's like
lot
it's
of people
Killzone
said-
Shadowfall quality so far from what I've played.
No, keep playing.
I'm
It gets
I'm
worse.
I'm about 2/3 through, and it is definitely Killzone Shadowfall quality so far.
You've right. This is how bad it is. Right. I've tweeted this a couple of times. I think I am genuinely shocked to the very core that Activision and Activision likes to play COD safe, and that's perfectly fine. I'm genuinely shocked that they signed off on that. I don't think they knew what they were going to do, because I'm telling you, that story is, in the way that it ends,
Stupid.
garbage.
So
Yeah.
I'm curious, Steve. At the meeting when they all sat down and said we're going to rip off Titanfall, what do you think the conversation was for the story?
I honestly don't know. I just don't, because it's not even that much like Titanfall. This is the thing, is that, okay, you can run on walls and you have a double jump, but they're not even, like Vern said last year about Advanced Warfare and about how they put that stuff in and it was irrelevant. But I'm telling you, this one is even less relevant.
I agree.
I honestly, Mike, you have to choose the core things or whatever to your abilities, and I don't even have double jump, for fuck's sake. So it's just irrelevant. I just don't know anymore.
Yeah,
Just
the Advanced Warfare was bad about that too, where you didn't even know what abilities you had at what times in the game. Like, they were just available randomly depending on your mission, and it'd constantly go back and forth. That's terrible game design. Like, you need the abilities, at least make it clear, you know?
Wait a second, guys. I hate to say this. We're going down to the what you've been playing side, so we need to get off and back on track.
Sorry.
Back on track.
Well,
Or
can
he's
I tell you what my gaming was? What I started
Yeah,
with? It's pretty
Tim,
quick.
Yeah.
Well, I started with Atari 2600, and one of my first games was that ET game, which I thought was the greatest thing in the world. But I never could get past the first board, I think.
Yeah.
I was so amazed by ET. I really thought it was so great. I thought the graphics were great. I remember playing Pitfall too. Pitfall was
It was so good.
that was like 95 Metacritic for me.
Yeah.
But I look today and I remember those games and how much we love them. And I look today at how much we complain, and it's just so
It's sad.
so far off from when a thing like that making people ecstatic. Now, if you have a shimmer or your 900p, your
It
AA
stutters.
is off. It stutters. Your game is broken.
I know, if
Shadows are
you're 1080p,
pixelated 10
It just
meters
blows
away.
my mind how
if you're
this started.
1080p but don't have the right anti-aliasing, 900p would have been better. Stop trying to do it. Threads.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? I used to actually play games. Like, I remember I was a big Ninja Gaiden fan. I was, Super Shinobi, Techno Cop. These games. I remember Techno Cop was technical.
Technocop? What's that?
Techno Cop was a game. I think it was for Sega Master System. I don't remember. I would have to look
I
it
don't know
up.
if
But
I heard that one.
Techno Cop,
Oh.
yeah. It was the first game when you could blow somebody's head off. That's what I loved about it.
Here we
There was
go.
actually
It was for the Amiga, actually.
well,
Alright,
that's
just a
probably it came
quick-
out on console.
Quick
It was
comment.
yeah, it was ported to the Genesis, yeah.
The Wicked
Right, so-
Soul says Gaiden. Actually, he did pronounce it the right way. That is how you're supposed to
Oh.
say it. No,
Yes.
I'm saying what Tim said is right. That's how you pronounce Ninja Gaiden, not Gaiden.
Yes, another win for Tim. No, but honestly, overall, it's crazy how it went from this to that. Like I said, I remember Technocop where the game would stutter, and I didn't care. I just played it. I didn't throw a controller or go on. So it's just crazy how times have changed. Just a game for a game is no longer looked at that way. There's so many implications and politics around it. It's crazy. That's my spiel.
To the
Okay.
point that every single conversation devolves into it.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody. Also, Red Alert, PC Master Race. Fuck y'all. Next letter.
All right, and this is our final letter. This one's from the Wicked Soul. He says, "Hello, hi, hey." This one is a quickie. Wink. Oh gosh.
Loving it so
Since-
far.
Since it's almost the end of the year and I still have 1 week of vacation left, should I take it? Sent from Wicked Soul's workplace.
Shouldn't it say? Didn't it say when should I take it or should I take it?
Should I take it?
Oh,
Take
hell yeah,
it.
take it. Don't.
Take
Why
it.
wouldn't you take it?
Take it. Go play Fallout 4.
Yeah, just take a whole week off. Don't go anywhere. Don't shower. Just eat and play video games.
Cheetos.
Yeah, just bring a toilet into your living room so you don't even have to leave to go to the bathroom.
Just get a commode.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that what you do, Steve? You know you're naked.
He's on the
always
commode
a-
during every
By
podcast.
By the
That's
way,
one of
there's
these
always a
ridiculous
small
allegations.
echo in Steve's chat, so it makes sense now. It's in the bathroom.
We keep moving the goalpost on when Steve's finally going to be on video. It's going to happen.
My 100th episode.
You know you're slowly getting there, right, Steve?
I'm not that close.
I'm gonna have to go back and count to see where Steve is for every time he says that.
Oh, did I say 100th? I meant 150th.
It meant like 100,000th.
Yeah. Dude, if we go that far, we're all ghouls.
All right. Well, yeah, take it. I think that was the consensus. What's the? Oh no. We had somebody in Twitch chat asked us, "What are your thoughts on Tomb Raider?" I mean, it's
Well,
part
since
of what
time-
you've been playing, but it's like,
It's time to talk about Tomb Raider?
yeah, it's talking
Well,
about Tomb Raider.
My response
Twitch
to
wants
that
to
was
know.
particularly important.
Who has
Badass.
played Tomb Raider so far? I think it's just me and Tim, right?
Yeah, Chaos Dash asked.
Just making fun of me now.
Well,
I
that'll
played
be in
Tomb
my
Raider.
play to section.
I played Tomb Raider. No, I mean we're gonna go right into what you've been playing now. So, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's awesome. I played the first. I'm up to the part where I'm back in the house, headed out. If that.
So
that
you
should
just
make
did the
sense.
opening sequence and that's it.
No, I'm beyond that. I'm a little bit beyond that. I take that back because I've gone to the desert thing and done. I don't know. Like I'm.
So you
far-
did, you
I'm
did the
far enough-
opening snow section, then you did the desert portion, and now you're going back to snow.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I've just made my first fire. That's where I'm at. I did it
Okay.
last night. Made my first fire. Yes.
Yeah, so you finished like the first tomb, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
And graphics so far are awesome. I haven't seen like anything where I went, "Wow, they really sacrificed." They should have. I know it's 1080p, but they should have made it 900p. Cause I'm Yogi Bear. Like like the picnic basket argument of like them trying to take shit away and all that stupid shit. No, I think so far the game looks gorgeous. Like all the like set pieces are awesome. And the story is so much better than the first game. Not like
You
I'm
haven't
not
even
far
gotten to
enough
the good
in it.
stuff yet.
No, but I know I'm not far enough into it yet. But like just how they're telling it and like the actual writing just seems better. Like,
Yeah, there's
really good.
there's already way better characters in this one than the first game. After only I may have played like 6 hours or so tops, I don't know, maybe. And yeah, the characters are already far better. The script's better. The acting's better. The voiceovers are better. I mean, everything's better in this game. Everything, and I mean not just in the story portion, like just everything. The tombs are bigger. There's more of them. The hubs are all a lot larger. There's more to do in them. There's more side quests. The side quests don't actually feel like just go and collect this all the time. There are some collectible things. I mean, there's quite a bit of that actually. But there's also side quests this time that are actually given to you from characters. And when you finish them, you get new upgrades. And whenever you find like a new challenge tomb and you get the treasure at the end, it might give you like a new upgrade for a weapon, or it might give you a new outfit, which gives you a certain power. So there's real rewards for everything you do in this game. So it's constantly making you want to do all the other stuff besides just do the storyline. So it's really, really good.
I think the 2013 game's good too. It's just you could tell that they really just put a ton of money into the script and everything. I don't want people thinking like the first game was like if you've never played it, the first game's still good and it's worth playing through. The story is good, but it's not like the most epic adventure you'll ever go on. But it's fun enough to like play through. I mean, I'd pick up the definitive edition and play through that. But yeah, this it's just really top notch. They've kind of went all out on the story, which is I'm a big story based gamer. I like playing stories and doing that whole thing. So I'm really happy with it so far.
Well, not just that. Like the game really lets you play it the way you want to play it. Like if you want to play this whole game stealth, you can. And I'm not saying you can avoid killing people completely, but there are a lot of portions of that game where you just don't even have to kill the people to get from one place to another, and you can use things around the environment to throw guards off to other areas to walk around
Right.
them and not get caught. And there's constantly cool things to do. The way they introduced grenades is really cool in this game. You actually pick up cans off the ground, and then once you have the can in your hands, you can then craft a grenade to throw. That's how it's done. You actually don't hold grenades on your body, you know. You just craft them in different situations if there's something in the environment to grab and make it and use it. So that's really, really cool too.
You know what I don't understand about this reboot? When people are sitting there and they say that Lara Croft is helpless and that she's just a character that, like, it's a bad woman lead character. It's like,
Not at all.
I think she's awesome. I think
Well,
she's,
especially in this game.
yeah, it's like she's a great.
Those are people who obviously haven't finished Tomb Raider 2013, I think, because by the
Well, they
end
see
of
the death scenes and they're like, "Look, she's helpless. She got killed
Yeah.
by a."
But by the end of the first game, she's taunting enemies to come and attack her and kill
Yeah.
her because she's getting off on the fighting. You know, she's becoming a dude bro essentially. She's like getting into the intensity of the fight, you know? And it's really cool because that extends into this game where she's actually a really strong character in this game. So they did a good job developing her. I just think the story wasn't super strong in the first game. The characters weren't very interesting. They were all kind of tropes, you know? Like, can you even remember their names besides Roth? That's the only one I can remember the name of.
Sam, Jonah, pretty sure that was an Alex.
Yeah, there's Sam, Jonah,
Um,
Alex, but they all kind of feel like these stereotypes, you know, like you have you have a Hawaiian guy, you have a black lady, you have a geek, a white like IT geek type, you know.
Yeah, they're
You
all
got
cookie cutter.
the old mentor guy who's Roth, you know, and then you got who was the one who betrays you? He kind of fit into that same kind of stereotype too.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
So you kind of forget about their names and you just identify them with what they are normally in a movie or a TV show, you know? And I don't find like I'm doing that in this game as much. Maybe the villain so far, but we'll see.
All right, Tim, do you have anything else to add? To
I love the game. It's better than the definitive edition. Seems like it's more opened.
Absolutely.
You can get lost a lot. Like I just find myself, crafting and picking up materials, killing animals, like hunting, and it's everything that definitive edition was and better. They improved a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Don't you feel like it took some things from the way Far Cry did things in Far Cry 3 and 4? I don't know if you're familiar with those games.
Yeah,
but
no,
the
I played
the way their
them.
crafting and stuff works, it feels
Yeah, they
similar.
all steal from each other a little.
Yeah.
They
In a good way, though, I'm
incorporate.
saying.
Yeah. My opinion though, I'm just really into the story. I'm listening to all the audio logs. I'm searching and I'm like the story has me. And for me right now, it's my game of the year because I'm on mission 11. I completed chapter 11 on Halo 5. Right now, I'm just playing Tomb Raider. It's just what I want to get to that.
How far
the
did you get
story.
into it? Not story-wise, but just like how far? How many hours have you played it?
Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
About 6, maybe 5.
Okay, so you got to that kind of early twist in the game about one of the characters then.
I don't know. I don't want to spoil myself. I'm right now just like I said. I've done a lot of things like just craft and get my skill up. I'm I don't want to say it. I don't want to say if I give it a spoiler, but I'm probably I'm like 13%, I think, or something like
Yeah,
that.
you probably got to that first little twist, which I thought was cool, and the story takes a little bit of a turn that I didn't expect, and I was like, oh, they're actually going somewhere with the story. Like,
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
unlike the first game, you know.
Right. But overall, it's incredible looking game.
3 out of 5.
No, it's definitely for me. It's a 5 out of 5. It's a must-have if you like these type of games. So
All right.
As far as someone asked, with the growth of female gamers this generation, do you feel part of Microsoft's calculations when making this timed exclusive deal was to attract the female demographic? I don't think that was really. They might have looked at it. I think that was more Crystal Dynamics look at things,
Yeah.
but I think
they
it
wanted,
plays
they
a
wanted an
role.
Uncharted competitor.
They did.
If they'd have had a donkey as the main character, as long as he played like Uncharted, they wouldn't have cared.
But either way, I don't think it was a specific reason they went out, but it is helpful towards people, women that play.
No, but
Yeah.
Lara Croft is a big step up from most women lead characters.
Oh,
in
God,
games,
yeah.
So it's cool to see that they're doing a female character right for a change and not just half-assed.
A properly written female character.
No, I mean,
Fem
like,
Shep.
no, I was about to say, you don't have many. You got Fem Shep, now Lara, you got, they're out there. Clementine's
Some- no,
awesome.
it's not-
Overdrive had good female
It did.
choice. It was much better than the male character.
And Nariko and Heavenly Sword was actually a pretty good character, even though the game wasn't great for a lot of people.
I
was a
really
good
liked it, and
female
she wasn't
character.
the lead character, but what was that game? Enslaved was really good. They had a good female
Yeah.
character in that.
Is that good? I didn't like that.
Well,
Yeah,
Ninja
but-
Theory likes the female characters because they're doing another female character for their next game. What's it called?
Uh, Ninja Blade? No, that was the crappy From Software game. That
Yeah, you're thinking of, yeah.
No, there's got to be this. There's Ninja or something. Hellblade.
Hellblade, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you did not enjoy Enslaved, Steve?
No, I remember starting it. I got it on my PS3 because I was like, I should get a game for my PS3, and then I played it, and I was like, no, this is garbage.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed
I,
it.
I liked Heavenly Sword, by the way, and generally speaking, I think that those sorts of games are just dreadful.
Do you think
So
it will
do we-
help sell Xbox consoles in Europe? I think any exclusive will help them sell consoles in Europe.
I don't think anything will help them sell consoles in Europe.
Well, I mean, we're
Advertising.
it will help, but whether or not
dollars out there, then maybe they would.
it will help, but will it be a major thing? No. But
Well,
of
no,
course,
because
any
they don't
any
put the
game.
marketing behind it. The UK doesn't have official Tomb Raider bundle.
That's so ridiculous.
All right, well,
Yeah,
let's just keep on doing what you've been playing. We're going to roll on. We're going to keep going. Let's talk about Fallout, because Fallout is awesome. The graphics, like I think everybody admits, it looks like a Fallout game, and it's not the most amazing, beautiful thing on the planet. It's a Bethesda game.
I disagree. I think it looks great.
I think the lighting looks awesome, but I think the actual art, like the art's good. The animations are a big step up from what they usually do. But does it look like the best thing you've ever seen? No. It's
No, but it's also not on the most powerful system ever either.
no, but if you play like The Witcher looks fucking amazing.
I think
Yeah.
this
The
looks
whole
better than
time.
The Witcher.
I don't.
no.
No.
But I think that when I was playing it, and I was looking at the surfaces trying to work out what I thought about how it looked, and I thought that they had very deliberately gone for a sort of a flat, sort of smooth, slightly cartoonish kind of art style. And I think you can see that particularly in like the faces. You know, the dude at the beginning who comes to the house and talks to you about the vault. Like you can see it in him. There is that kind of jovial, like it's not, it's not like cel shaded or something like Sunset Overdrive is. But I think there is that sort of tension to it, and they wanted sort of smoother, flatter surfaces. And I think that if you look at it, that's what I thought. There was the way that it looks is just a very deliberate way of how they wanted the art direction to be. I mean, maybe other people disagree, but from what I played, I thought that kind of seemed like
No,
that was-
it's definitely a more slight cartoonist look with a kind of a saturated look. It's definitely it looks more like a mod for New Vegas, like one of the EMB mods where they saturate it up and I don't want to say cartoony it up, but they actually add color to the game, unlike New Vegas and Fallout 3.
There's a
No,
higher
it
does a
contrast too.
Yeah.
No, like the sky really pops. It looks really good.
Yeah.
But
Have
I
you-
think Jason's
have-
right. Like the Fallout, what will shock you the most is the amount of color you can put in a brown wasteland.
I think have you guys been in a radiation thunderstorm yet?
No.
Oh my god.
I
Just
will say
wait.
the first time I left the vault and looked at the different houses and the destruction, they really felt like they were still lived in. Like each home felt like it had a bit of a history. So I thought that was really cool about it. It seems like they put a lot of time and care into all the environment. So it doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it's just all procedurally generated or something. You
I
know?
mean, it's definitely a 3 out of 5 game. I mean, it's just awesome. Like, just,
It's this game. Okay. Let's talk about the building aspect in this game. I currently have a.
it's rough. Like as
No,
in,
it's
like,
good.
No, I mean rough as in like, whoa, this is just too much to take right now. I don't know what to do with myself because it's so deep.
I currently have a 5-story building with 10 people living in my sanctuary, and I got a whole wall set up around it like a town, and it's awesome, dude. I got stores. I have a farm.
Do you
I
have
have
to
all
do
kinds
it
of
to
crap.
complete the game?
No,
Do you have to
you don't.
build-
You
okay.
know, you don't even have to touch it if you don't want. But I think you should.
What's it there for? Like, what's the point of it? Just to have extra stuff to do?
It gives
Or
you
do,
more
or do you get
places.
upgrades and stuff?
It gives you more places to sell stuff. It gives you more places to buy ammo. It gives you more places to go see a doctor, fix addictions. If you have stores, it will generate income for you. It will also generate water and food and so on and so forth. And it's a thing. It's and it also encourages trade between them, and that also generates income.
Right.
It's something to help you out, and I think it's really cool. It also gives you also when it starts getting big, you have to defend them too. So it gives you, it's just fun. It's like playing trying to think of another game like that where it's just centered around stuff like this, but it's a game in itself, and it's pretty fun, I think.
Maria said she thought it seemed kind of like State of Decay. Is that true?
Yeah, kinda, but more customizable. Definitely way more customizable. The only problem I have is that certain settlements you have a very hard time with the amount of wood it gives you because you have to bring down all the trees and scrap them. And wood is a bitch to get if you can't scrap trees. So the only complaints I really have about the game is that guns don't. They took out the repair mechanic, which I'm not a fan of. Which basically means all the guns in the game do not degrade. And it also means that you're going to pick up a crap ton of guns in the game with no purpose to it other than to sell them or scrap them because you can't use them to repair your gun. But that's why I recommend get the perk called Scrapper, and it lets you get screws and useful materials out of scrapping the guns. It helps you mod your other guns. But I love the game so far. It's I've barely done the story. Like I said, I've played 28 hours of this game so far, and I'm just running around exploring and all kinds of crap, and it's tons of fun. I love the modifications on the guns feel great. You can take a hunting rifle and make it a 50 caliber sniper rifle. You can take the musket that they start you off with, and it has a 2 crank, if anyone's messed with that, and you could put a 6 crank on it, and that thing is fucking nuts. You can make it into a laser sniper rifle. You could make it into a laser assault rifle that shoots a bunch of rounds, or, it's automatic. It's just so much to this game, and it's just fantastic. Now, I do have one really big complaint. They have a difficulty mode called Survival. You know how New Vegas had a hardcore mode where you had to drink and eat and sleep?
Yeah.
That's not what Survival is. Survival's just hard.
Uh-huh.
I hate that. Like, I would love, because it gave a reason for food to be in a game. It made you sleep. It was a nice. I hope mods fix a lot of this I think mods will fix a lot of my complaints, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very happy with the game.
How has performance been for you, and what hard drive are you using?
I am using an external 7200 RPM. Performance, it depends on the area. When I'm high up in certain areas, like I think there's a factory you go to earlier in the game, when you're high up on the scaffolding, and at the time it was raining, and it was suffering a bit, and when you start getting into the huge town, it can start suffering a bit. But it's not constant. I've barely seen stuttering. Like I've had maybe one or two times the entire time I've been playing it as it stuttered. So I think it runs great.
Did they ever come out and talk about what setup they used on Digital Foundry? Was it off the stock hard drive?
It was. They did it on 2 separate Xbox Ones. Both were just using the stock hard drive.
I think they really should do the test.
First.
I don't think the problem is the setup they used for the Xbox One. I think the problem is how they ignored the performance issues on the PS4 in comparison.
Well, who knows what their PS4s were? They might have had solid-state hybrid drives in their PS4s, since they're all PS4 gamers anyway.
Probably got like 3 terabytes solid-state.
Well, the thing that
drives
makes
in
me
there.
mad is in their article, they say, "Oh, the PS4 version's better because it runs on average in this area is 3 frames per second better." But in the same exact article, they talk about how there's scenes in the game where the Xbox One will stay at a steady 30 and the PS4 will be in the low 20s.
Well, it drops
Just
to
struggling
exactly
along.
20. It's doing that weird double buffering thing like in The Witcher 3 did for
But at the end of the article, they just sit there and go, the PS4 runs the best. They completely ignore all this.
Well, and NX Gamer came out today, did a video which showed that the Xbox One was working better. So I think there's just so many variables depending on how many enemies are on screen, like what's going on with your save file. I don't know if there's a great way to test which one's better.
You can't hold one thing as a gospel when you don't know all the variables, you don't know all the things that are taking place, and that's what's happened here. Is people take Digital Foundry as gospel, but in this day and age, they really haven't said. They don't go into their setups or what they're using or how they. It just seems like they need to be a little looked into a little deeper, especially with the comments that the guy John Lindemann said that he deleted off of NeoGAF, which is really telling, where he basically said that he wished Microsoft never came into this next generation. Now, for me, that's a pretty. He deleted the tweet.
I have it here.
Did he say this next generation? Because I thought
he said he wished they'd never entered the industry. Exactly what he said was, "I do not like what Microsoft has brought to the industry, and think we'd be better off if they had never entered it. I can throw that aside when writing and present thoughts free of my dislike for them. However, but reading into it as if I actually prefer the Xbox, pure madness."
And then he deleted the tweet because obviously
it wasn't a tweet. It was actually a
whatever. I just I'm talking to
it was a post on GAF, and he edited it.
And isn't he celebrated on GAF? Is he like they?
No. He actually gets a lot of enemies from both sides because he is kind of honest about this. He came out and said Dragon Age Inquisition ran better on Xbox One and preferred that version and recommended it, even though it was 900p compared to 1080p. And he got a lot of shit for that actually. Yeah. But this was actually after that he wrote this, so that's kind of surprising.
When you make a statement like that and you're in the position that he's in, integrity does come into play.
Yeah, he is a freelancer too, so it's not like he is exactly representing Eurogamer, but still,
he's being put on there as the stamp of their analysis.
He's been breaking down the Xbox games specifically. Like he was the one who did the big write-ups on Halo 5. He's doing the big write-ups on Tomb Raider now.
Let's just so you know, what are the headlines for Halo 5?
He did the whole cost of 60 frames per second.
Okay, and then Tomb Raider. What was the headline for that? The good and the not so good, right?
Something along those lines. Yeah.
So
and I'm not gonna. See, the thing is, he did say correct things. It's not like he's coming out and saying incorrect things. He's making good observations, and he actually put together some pretty good articles. But I feel like someone like that, who obviously doesn't care for the console, may not be the best person to do teardowns on those games. Because you got to wonder, is always in the back of the mind, is he always thinking of things to look for to nitpick, you know?
But it's not about not being a fan of the console. He believes that they should never have entered the industry.
Right.
And this is what year are we in? It's 2015. When did they release the Xbox? 2001. That's 14 years of someone looking at something, shaking their head, going, "Oh, wow, I wish they'd never done that."
Yeah, this console.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean,
Right.
If
And these thoughts are
if
always going to be in the back of his mind.
if he turned around and said, "I don't like what they tried to do with the Xbox One," I'd understand it, because I think what they were trying to do was pretty ridiculous. In hindsight, and at the time, I don't think they should have done it. I think the market has proven that. But thinking one thing about a specific product, whereas sitting on something for almost a decade and a half, despite the fact that they've clearly done some very good things for the industry, and you look at the things that perhaps people don't like about games today, but to be fair, without them, I don't think they'd have a lot of the things that we like about the industry today.
They revolutionized online gaming for console. Easy.
Yeah, but I feel like when you have that kind of bias, you're going to actively seek problems with these games and really go for them and point them out. And
I
don't know if that's the best thing when you're just doing a plain technical breakdown.
And you know what, Vern? There's also the point that could be made that the articles where he doesn't seem as biased, he could just be stepping lightly. You can't be too biased, because then it just comes out clearly and you're going to lose your integrity.
No, but the article headlines have been biased enough where, like,
they're done for clicks,
no, but PS4 games, they're not done for clicks. They'll just go, like Uncharted.
Oh yeah, he gushed about the Uncharted collection, completely gushed over it.
No, but it'll just be like the
he did
headline
3
will be
articles
really good.
about
it.
it.
But then, like Halo, the cost of 60 frames per second,
which I think is so dumb.
Like, that is one of the most awful headlines.
So,
about that
are we
game.
going to get a PS4 game that has bad frame rate at 1080p and have an article that says the cost of 1080p?
No, what we need is Uncharted.
They could have done that for Until Dawn, and they didn't.
We need Uncharted 4, the cost of graphics and multiplayer. Because it's not.
Yeah, I'm curious what happens with that, but yeah, I mean, I do think.
Like
I don't want to come down too hard on this guy, because I have heard him talk about Microsoft and its games since Gamescom, and he's actually been very, very good about it. Like, he seems to really be into their games recently. So I don't know if he's coming around or if he's trying to be less biased or what it is. So it's hard for me to just say, hey, I hate this guy. He needs to never write for publications anymore, but it is upsetting.
It's not sitting there thinking that you hate someone.
It's about going, this guy's biased and he shouldn't be writing these articles. Like, that's not hate. That's just stating a fact. Like, there's at a certain point, like, I understand where you're coming from, Vern, because I suffer from the same thing of forgiveness. Well, let's give him another chance, and let's see if he turns around and his bias isn't as bad. No, eventually you just got to call a spade a spade. The guy prefers PlayStation. He wished Microsoft never went into the industry, and he's doing technical reviews for all these games. And every single article he writes on Xbox and not PlayStation, he fucking literally makes a link, like a fucking, he takes this jab at Microsoft.
Passive aggressive.
By saying 60 frames per second, the cost of, is then fucking on a PlayStation game that's fucked up. Oh, let's just kind of smooth that over a little bit. Uncharted's fucking amazing. Like, and let's do 3 articles. Like, at a certain point, a spade's a spade. The dude's fucking a fanboy. Yes, he knows his stuff. Most fanboys do. Like,
honestly, I wouldn't even call him a fanboy. I'd call him a console warrior.
I think I would. Well, no, but as far as I can tell, he hasn't specifically said that he prefers PlayStation, it could be that actually he prefers PC. And to be fair, if you're a sort of tech person that he is, in 2015, you're gonna prefer PC.
Yeah,
Because
he's more
PC
of a
will let you
PC
do
guy.
whatever you want. I don't think it's about preferring PlayStation. And to be fair, there are plenty of PC owners out there that are incredibly bitter about what Microsoft have done when they came into the industry, because they went from releasing these sort of PC games, and then it was Xbox and PC, then Xbox, and then they completely and now they think that
Yes, but
Microsoft.
that, like you said, that was 14 fucking years ago. And the
But what I'm saying
benefits,
is that
the
doesn't make him
benefits
pro
of what
PlayStation.
Microsoft
You know what
has
the thing
done.
is?
No, wait a second, Jason. The benefits of what Microsoft has done has revolutionized gaming as a whole, and that includes PC gaming. Because before fucking Steam had party chat, guess what? Xbox Live had party
Yeah,
chat.
but there was a period of
Before all
time
that
where it looked
stuff,
like PC gaming was dying.
yes, and you know
And
what?
a lot of people
The
credit that to
Xbox-
Microsoft not supporting it. And, I understand that opinion, but I don't necessarily
The
agree
PC
with
gaming
it.
crowd is incredibly.
It's niche. I'm sorry. The PC
No.
gaming crowd is niche. Yes, you do have people that fucking play Minecraft, and you have the people that play Solitaire, and they make up the majority of PC gamers. And then you try to lump it, oh, PC gaming's this giant thing. No, it's not. Bridge and Solitaire are this giant thing. Minecraft's a giant thing. PC gaming is about on par with what console gaming does. And then you have people go, oh, Steam has 40 million active users, which are all free accounts, and all they do is play free to play games. Okay, that's true. I'm not going to deny that, but that's a smaller audience compared to 20 active. 20. What is PlayStation? PlayStation is around 20 million users, active users on PlayStation's network, and that's paid for now. Like it's, I don't think it's apples to apples. And what Microsoft's brought to the industry after these 15 years of being here, I think is enough to say, fuck off, enjoy what Microsoft has brought us. Yes, they weren't great, but PC gaming was reborn under Steam. You got your Green Man Gaming, you have Steam, you have Humble Bundles. PC gaming's alive and well.
The problem
And
with
eventually
PC,
you got to drop it. Like Windows Vista played PC games well. Fucking 7 played them amazing. 8 played them even better than 7, and then fucking 10 has been amazing for PC games with DirectX 10 or 12.
but here's the thing, Dusty. The PC gaming community hurts themselves. They hurt their own community. They hurt the gaming the entire industry on PC. Because like Microsoft, they're actively doing things right now to bring games to the PC. So what does the PC community do? They actively go against them. They tell them to fuck off. It's
Because,
like, do you want them or do you not? If you don't want it, like, you can't
the
sit
biggest
there.
issue at the time with PC gaming had mainly to do with DRM, and then everybody forgave DRM for Steam, and now DRM's not a big thing. Because, I have a Steam account and I get my games for $3, so who cares about DRM? So that helped. But the biggest problem, what killed PC gaming wasn't Microsoft not supporting it. What killed PC fucking gaming was piracy. And everybody on PC pirated nonstop back in the 90s, and that's all people did. Nobody bought their games or their software, they pirated. They still do it to this day. That's what killed PC gaming. It had nothing to do with Microsoft not fully supporting it or all that jazz, because it was an open ecosystem. It was people pirating software, and that's why console gaming took off. That's why developers left PC gaming.
To get back to John Linneman, yeah, it's just kind of upsetting because I sort of respected the guy, but I like some of the write-ups he did, and then when I saw that, it's like, that explains the way he was often highlighting the negatives more than the positives in these technical write-ups.
Like I said, you come to a place where you talk integrity, and
he doesn't have it now. Yeah,
it looks like his integrity took a shot.
Yeah.
I have things in my PMs. I've been getting a lot of DMs about this guy from a lot of very respected people, and they're showing me things, his posts. I don't really want to make it my job to go after the guy. I think that if he is who he is, I hope he can try to be, have integrity in his job, because you're affecting a lot of things when you're doing these type of these write-ups. it goes right to Gaff. Gaff is influential. It goes right to the media. Now, I'm not saying that that he shouldn't be able to do an analysis. He should, but I don't know. At this point, I'm just hoping that it's the case that he is not really has these he has these this hate for Microsoft. I'm gonna hope that it's not the thing, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But
And to be
he's
fair-
he's on eggshells right now. I'm sure that he knows people are right now. He has a bullseye on him, and he seems like he doesn't care, but. I just hope it's not the case that he really is a biased person. That would just suck.
And to be clear, we're not hating on the guy because he has an opinion. Nothing wrong with that.
Did you know
But
he upscaled
you gotta-
PlayStation 2 games in a console comparison with original Xbox and got found out about it?
It's not surprising.
Wow.
Well, it's like we're not hating on this guy because he has an opinion. It's he needs to own up to what he said. I think
No,
that's
but
the thing.
he shows an active bias.
Yes, and he came out and said it, and he said, if that's the way you feel, come out and be honest about it. That way, when we read your reviews, we know what to expect. You know? I mean, that's just the way it is. It's full disclosure.
All right, well,
Yeah.
let's move on from this and go back. So Fallout sound is good, graphics.
Fallout's amazing, dude. If you're not playing Fallout, go out and buy it and play it. It is
Same
fantastic.
thing with Tomb Raider.
Fallout,
Yeah, I'm both.
Fallout
And Halo
and Tomb
5.
Raider are both
And Halo 5. Yeah, get that too.
in game
And
of the year
Forza
discussion.
6.
Yeah, get that too.
Your
And
wallet's
Replay.
fucked. And Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, get them all.
Your wallet's really fucked.
I just rebought Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
Did you?
Yeah.
Thanks
You
for
just
the NPD.
rebought it.
I rebought it. It was like £15. I regretted selling it.
Dusty, did we ever call a podcast NPD Warriors?
I guess we could do it this podcast.
Or NPD Warriors? We
Yeah.
came up with that the other
right.
night.
Well,
Who thought that Xbox would have won? I mean, I think Steve was a no. I was up in the air. I slight edge Microsoft, but I had no confidence.
I had
always
no
say
clue
yes.
who was going to win. I thought it was just going to be really close and either one could go on top.
Which looks like the
Well,
case.
we don't actually know what PS4 did. We know that if they'd have done exactly what they did last year, Microsoft would have won by about 10,000 units.
they
But they
they
didn't.
got
They were
And
down.
that's
but the
really
question is-
surprising
but-
because they
but
had
the
the
question
price
is how
drop.
far down.
they sold 2, but stupid number wars. Let's see. I played more backwards compatible games. I ended up playing South Park: The Stick of Truth. That runs very well. It looks amazing still, like because of the art style. It looks really good, and it's only 720p in backwards compatibility. So, but that art style lets it do whatever it wants to do without looking bad. What else have I played this week? I don't know. I'm going to say it's pretty much. I mean, I flipped through. I played Horde for like 2 seconds in Gears 3. That was fun, but
Yeah.
didn't play too much of it. Played some Minecraft and Halo 5 multiplayer. That's about it. That's it for me, guys. Vern, what else have you been playing? Other than
Well, me and
Tomb
Steve
Raider?
already talked about Call of Duty. I have played some multiplayer and it's pretty good. Multiplayer seems to run well and it's pretty fun. It's still kind of hit or miss whether or not you're going to get a dedicated server, which is terrible. I'm surprised they still haven't gone fully dedicated servers on that game yet. But the single player campaign, it's terrible. It's really bad. Like immediately you start it and it's 30 frames per second cutscenes, but not even cutscenes. You know how in Call of Duty, whenever they do cutscenes, they're like in engine from the character's point of view, so you can move the camera around. Well, usually in a Call of Duty game, that stuff is 60 frames per second as well. Well, in this game, it's 30 frames per second. So my initial reaction is, wait, isn't this supposed to be 60 frames per second? But then it goes into gameplay, and you're like, oh, okay, it's switching to 60 frames per second. But no, it is not. It is not at all. This game sits around the low 50s and dips down to the 40s. It's like they didn't even try. It's not even 900p. It's like 1280 by 900 a lot of the time because it's a variable resolution game, like a dynamic resolution game. So sometimes it's 1600 by 900, but that's the highest it gets, and then it drops down, like I said, to 1280 by 900. So image quality is really weak. I still think it looks better than the other Call of Duties just because there's no Black Crush finally, which is like the first Xbox Call of Duty which doesn't have it, so that's pretty nice. But I'm just really disappointed. I expected more from Treyarch, because you think Treyarch, and you're like, well, they've been around a while. They've been making the Black Ops games. They made World at War. All these games were pretty good. I mean, Black Ops 2 I wasn't a huge fan of, but it wasn't terrible. But this game is even worse.
Yeah, as someone who just played Black Ops 2, the problems with the strike missions were stupid, and the story was kind of a bit all over the place. But mechanically, and
it was a
in
decent
terms of
campaign.
gameplay, yeah, there wasn't any particular problems with that. But this one is just shit.
Yeah, I don't like how you have to choose your cores, and I don't like.
Wait. The thing is, I was when they said, this is about 15 hours and it's got co-op, I was like, excited. I mean, I wasn't actually expecting it to be 15 hours, but I was thinking, I know what to expect from Call of Duty. It's going to be like a military action film, and the more you get towards the end, it stops being that.
There's so many cheap kills though, like cheap deaths in the game. And like if you go off to a little bit of a distance, it gives you a countdown timer, kind of like in Drive Club when you go off road, stuff like that.
But it's only like 5 seconds, so by the time you realised, you're done. Like I literally did that. I just walked out, and then it seemed like the barrier for going into your escaping mission zone, as much silly as this might sound, seemed different to when you were leaving it.
Right.
So it kind of seemed like it was much further back, but I mean that was the kind of least of its problems, to be perfectly honest. For me, I was just so disappointed. Yeah, I really enjoyed the first Black Ops, and I'm not playing co-op, but towards the end, my friend, I had to practically beg him not to quit.
Yeah, I haven't played it for about 4 or 5 days now, and
then finish it and then ask for a refund.
Because I played it like Friday and Saturday, and then I don't think I played it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, it's been a while.
Be careful with those refunds, guys. No more than one a year.
Yeah, I'm not going to refund it.
Isn't it?
Because the multiplayer is pretty good, and I do plan on playing it some
I wouldn't do any over one a year, just to be.
I'd like to try out the zombies mode too. Maybe we can do that. But yeah, I'm really disappointed with it. I feel like it shouldn't have been released when it was. They needed to give it more time for optimization and work on that campaign some more. And they had 3 years for this one. This wasn't a 2-year release for Treyarch. So this should have been the really good one.
And look at what. You know what? Go ahead. Sorry.
The issue that it had for me was that, they were sort of puffing their chests out as like, we've got so much content this year. But they never stopped to think that just because you can put so much content in there, that it's actually going to be good content.
Right.
There's plenty of games that are long, but that doesn't make them good.
Multiplayer's good, though. Have you played any of the multiplayer yet?
I played it for a bit. I've already sold it now.
Look,
yeah,
Ryan, we know that Steve's not a multiplayer guy. He's just
that's right.
Well, no, I did play it with some friends, and it was, it seemed fun, and they were enjoying themselves. But you look, they did this big campaign with co-op, and then you've got the zombies modes, but then you've also got the kind of zombies remix thing, which I'll try not to spoil too much, but there's that, and then there's all the different multiplayer things, and it just seemed like they were like, we're going to make the biggest and best Call of Duty ever, but in the end they just went down the road of making the biggest Call of Duty without making the best one.
So hopefully they focus a little bit more on the next game,
And you're saying they had 3 years, and I hate to say it, look what they did with Fallout. That game is 1080p, it looks great in a lot of areas, it's open world, it's streaming, yet this game can only... Call of Duty is running 1280 by 900, and it's not even open world. And it's
at
barely
41
running.
frames per second sometimes.
Yeah, it's like...
You you can
How-
tell that they switched main development over to PS4.
Yeah, they did a shitty ass job, and it's pretty clear.
But it runs bad on PS4 too. It's about the same frame rate on PS4. It may be like 1 or 2 frames per second better on PS4 right now, and the resolution isn't even 1080p on there.
I thought they said it's still there most of the time.
All right,
but
need to
it's still
move on.
dynamic resolution and drops. So
We need to move on.
I
I'm
don't know.
renaming the show "The Bitching."
yeah, I know.
The bitching.
The bitching would have been the other show with Steve talking about how he changed his review scores to bitchins.
Yeah. But yeah, Call of Duty. If you're going to be playing the campaign, I don't recommend it. If you're mainly interested in multiplayer, it's probably still worth it. So,
Tim, what else have you been playing, Tim?
I've been playing Warzone, but once Tomb Raider hit, I pretty much played that and I've been engulfed in it. I played Battlefront last night with the EA Access, and that it's a pretty fun game. I'm probably gonna buy it.
I might still.
I played the space. I like the space fighting, like the aerial. It's much more open than the beta, so you get more of an idea. So that I would. So far, so good. It is what it is expected. It's probably a little rushed, but it's fun at the end of the day. But Tomb Raider, like I said, has been amazing. Now I just got it down. I also switched. I returned 2 Xboxes, so I was without an Xbox for 2 days. I did the deal that's closes November 15th.
250. Yeah.
Where you can return a PS4 or Xbox for $250. I returned an Xbox. I returned my headset, and I got $257 for it. And I returned an old broken controller. That was $26. So. Overall, I had like $530 in credit.
You get the Elite.
I got the Elite, and then I get handed a Halo 5 and an extra controller.
Yeah,
And the Elite console, like I said, was fantastic, but I had to install everything, and I put everything on a 4 terabyte hard drive. It took about a day and a half because I want all my games at all times on a drive. That's the way I am.
What do you think of that controller, man? Have you gotten used to the paddles yet? I love the paddles on the Elite controller.
I love the paddles. I only keep 2, and I keep them on the bottom, the 2 longer ones, and that's it. And I just have to map it. My new, I don't know if I have to re-sign up, but now I'm not a preview member on these Xboxes because I lost. I can re-sign up.
All you got to do is log in with your account and then go to the preview program software. Okay. And then you can sign that console up for the preview. Okay,
because I know you're only allowed to do it 3 times.
3. Well,
and
no,
I've done that.
3. You can only have 3 consoles at a time.
Okay,
that
go.
Have the preview.
Okay, so I'm hoping that because I have it on the living room, the bedroom, which I don't really use.
Well, you can go into the app and find out which ones are connected.
I hope it's disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good news. But yeah, so like I said, I got after doing that, and now I'm looking to. I got up to played co-op on Halo 5, and really enjoying it. I do see the problems with people saying it's too short. It might be a little bit too short, especially with the way if you die you can be revived. It seems to extend the game. But missions, like there's a couple of missions where they really shouldn't be missions. And or chapters. To me, that was a little disappointing. So the story seems to be good so far, but like I said, so far for me, Tomb Raider has gotten me to the point where I want to finish it as soon as possible because I'm just into it. I'm into, some parts are hard.
Well, you really got into the first one too.
Yeah, but this is just bigger on a bigger scale. I'm really impressed. The cutscenes are jarring. They're so good. And
the facial animations are incredible.
Like I've never seen
They're
that.
incredible.
Like I was looking at the eyes of and like this. I was just like, how do they do this?
Yeah.
So I've been gaming pretty much every day. I've been going gaming pretty much every day for a month. So. Say I'm not playing games.
Well, the motion capture they're doing, it's that performance capture where instead of using all the little like suction cups on the face like they do and so, or those little dots, it's actually a paint that goes over the entire face, so it captures everything, not just, particular muscles and stuff. It gets all of them. So I think that's why you were really seeing a big difference in the cutscenes for this game. So that's pretty exciting. The hair stuff looks good too. The Tress effects. Hair looks really good in this one.
Tress Effects just sounds like a shampoo, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. But it looks good in this game. They did a good job with that too.
Just like the original Oreo, Hydrox.
Yeah, they gave her like bangs in this game. So
Oh, did they?
yeah,
Do you have that shampoo? Is it Tresemme?
Tresemme.
Yeah, we have Tresemme, yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well, anybody play anything else they want to talk about before we end the show?
Well, obviously we talked about COD. I've played Divinity. I'm still going on it. I've written my review. It's a good RPG. It reminds me more of Dragon Age Inquisition than something like The Witcher, in that it took me a long time to feel like I was invested in it. But it is really good. It's an isometric RPG. I think Vern might quite like it. It's got like party system and stuff. You've got source hunters, but it's also classless. So whereas most RPGs are like you pick this and then they send you sort of down that path, this one's just like, well, you pick your initial stats, but after that you can do whatever you want with it, which is really nice
as well, right?
It does, although the co-op's a bit strange because rather than taking your character in with you see there's basically like two main characters, and then you can have sort of two sort of tag-alongs sort of thing. They play just the same, but so it's two-player co-op, but when the other person comes in, they play the other person, and then the main person, sort of like player one, is the host, and then they can control what you do, so like trading, leveling, all that sort of thing. So you can be sort of open with it, but
Do both people get the achievements?
I don't know the answer to that one, I'm afraid.
Wow.
I would expect so. I mean, to be honest, I've played it for quite a while, and I don't have that many achievements on it. So, to us, I think that they're quite difficult to attain. I mean, I think it's one of those games where it rewards you for doing everything. And I played it for many hours. It reckons I've played it for 89 hours, and I've only got 270 points. So,
Yeah.
But it is good. So as
Do you
I said,
think it's
I
worth
like
$59.99 though? It seemed like it was overpriced to me.
I do not. Go and buy The Witcher and play The Witcher again, or for whatever.
Someday I'll play Witcher 3 again and actually finish it.
You know what's
Yes.
funny? I was just thinking about it, just remembered. Apparently, split screen in Call of Duty is complete shit, and it's funny after all the stuff Halo 5 got for not including it, and apparently Call of Duty split screen is awful garbage, and it can barely run the game.
Well, I can barely run the game even on one.
Even without split screen, yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, I also wanted to...
Well,
when you were talking about the class system, I just want to bring up Fallout. What they did with the perk system and everything is fucking awesome. It's great. They did a fantastic job with that.
Just the other thing I was going to mention, I've been trying out backwards compatible games this evening. I'll just run through these quickly. Judgment wouldn't open for me, but Gears 3 seems to run well. When I opened it up, I started on the Anvil Gate level, so you have the Lambent Berserker, and then you have the bit before where you're trying to get Sam and is it Dom back to the place. So there's lots of action going on that would be quite intensive on it, and it seems to run fine. Sonic ran fine. Call of Juarez Gunslinger seems to run fine, although I'm kind of stuck. Sonic was pretty good. There's been sort of some mixed reviews for some games. Joyride Turbo, as I said in the chat, seems to run quite nicely. So I've been quite pleased with how it runs, because there was a bit of concern. Perhaps we'll talk about it a bit more next week when we've had a week to digest everything. But I'm quite satisfied how the quality of the emulation so far is good. I'm pleased about
all right.
Cool.
Well, I think that's going to do it for this week's podcast. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, especially everybody in the Twitch chat. You're amazing for dealing with all our, late starts. But you too can join us on Twitch, on twitch.tv/Xbox Uncut every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, Usually around 8:05, 8:10.
8:20.
9.
Yeah, 9. Like, it gets there, but like 8 p.m. Eastern every Thursday.
The next day at 9.
Yeah.
We
Maybe
usually
Sunday. Yeah.
will be on around 8:03 is when we'll hit the live button.
Yeah, we
depending on
apologize
who's-
for the delay last week and all that.
Yeah.
It
But
is what it is.
One Saint for Life. A great intro.
yes.
Oh, it was awesome.
And please write us at letters@xboxuncut.com and just tell us what you think about all these amazing games that came out this week, or just more love letters for Vern. He needs to read more letters of love.
Yeah.
Or opera
And
questions.
don't be shy. If you're already written in, write in again.
Yeah, we'll take more letters, no matter what.
Ask,
Smoke signals.
ask us plenty of questions. Get debates going.
Make us
That's
happy.
fine.
Make us mad.
Surprise us.
Surprises.
Depress me. Yeah, that's possible.
Well, with that, I'll surprise you all with one amazing. Well, it's not outro music, but why isn't it loading? It's messing with me. No.
I am
This is-
surprised now.
Yeah, this is like the worst exit
The ending
ever.
of this show fucking sucks.
I double clicked
It usually
My
does,
computer's
because
not
I
fucking
wanna-
up.
Quick, one of you on
Yeah.
camera.
Hey.
One of you on camera, do a dance.
Hey, you know
Vern.
why the ending of the show
You want
sucks?
me to sing? You want me to sing?
Welcome to the Xbox Uncut Weekly Podcast.
Bungie, you ripped the money out of your fans' hands and burned it in front of their faces with that piece of shit known as Destiny.
I want to be hyped.
Vern, how you doing?
And Tim and Steve are sucking it out of me.
If you don't want to buy it because there's women in the game or on the cover, you can suck it.
Clean your ass up. Scrub your ass. Put on deodorant. Do not put on Axe body spray.
South Park, The Fractured But Whole. Horizon.
Wait a
Zero
second,
Dawn.
we gotta enjoy that title first.
It's so good in the end. Your accent. Fractured but home.
Fractured but
I don't sound like that.
who the fuck is Master Chief?
Exclusives happen. Third party money has happened. I don't give a shit. This is a pretty good podcast. I'd say 3 out of 5.
Killtacular.
Yeah, that was on Xbox, and the only way as a PlayStation fan that you can be happy about that is because you're happy that Xbox fans don't get to play it.
I finally finished Ori, which took me 36 hours, 1,338
Like Forza they don't program in 0 to 60 numbers. They don't program in how tight a car can turn, how much traction a car has. They don't do any of that. But what they do is they put these statistics into their physics engine and they let their physics engine work it out for itself.
You know how many times I've argued with people and they're like, Persona 5! It's the same shit all the time. It's like, I don't know, they have
reality and you were like, take
exactly. Sony's gonna have more delays. It's just, it's a pattern all gen.
But I played Minecraft Story Mode, and if you don't like it, then fuck you.
You can write into the show at letters@xboxuncut.com. And now, your host, Dustin.